No.
No.
I have no problem with it. I actually
No.
so.
Hey guys, we're
No.
live.
Hello.
Okay.
We're talking about cats.
Hola.
Hi.
The
Hi,
musical.
everyone.
Cats.
It's been a long time. Cats
been
is
about a
is
month,
an
yeah.
okay musical.
I'm
I
awake.
mean, I've never actually seen the musical, know nothing
Oh.
about it, but I like
I've seen the actual musical. It's an okay musical.
I'll
It's
agree
like
with you there.
it's not like a fantastic. It's not like Les Mis or like Fiddler on the Roof or something like that. Like it's an okay musical.
why is he fiddling on the roof anyway?
There's a there it's
It's a-
from the first song.
Yeah, it's like an allegory.
Yeah.
Life
Like
is,
a fiddler
Life is,
on the roof.
and life is unstable, like being a fiddler on the roof or something like that.
Yeah. That's
That
Much
sounds
simpler
pretty
music.
unstable. I agree with him there.
That's much more stable.
I mean,
It's-
you could
I
fall
mean-
off. and
yeah,
die.
exactly. That's the point is that you're trying to focus on doing one thing and then you could potentially fall off and stop being able to do that thing. So
guess
it's just
like the
it's just a
fiddler
weird
is a better plan.
it's more just it's a strange occurrence that there would be a fiddler on the roof.
Yeah. It's also that, and like,
I mean, I would do something dumb like that, but
It's
The
like-
rogue roof fiddler.
who is
come
this
into your
asshole on my
neighborhood.
roof playing in the middle of the night?
I won't read this out loud. I'll just post this in the TOA chat because it's I don't whoever wrote it just I don't know. I'm confused. Whoever wrote it doesn't know what anarchism is. I'll say that.
Uh,
Hmm.
well,
We
a
talking
little
like
quiet.
20s anarchism?
No, like modern anarchism.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is anybody
because this
else
is, like,
having
in the
problems with
future.
volume other than Arc, or is that actually no? It looks like volume is actually a bit low. So, okay, that should be better. Hopefully, I'm hopeful.
test. Am I loud enough?
loud noises, y'all.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
I got a
Hello.
fan blowing directly into my microphone too, which probably doesn't help. Guys, it's been like a month since we last played. Last time we played, some crazy dramatic shit happened.
Lots of people. Actually, not that many people died.
Oh,
One
that
person.
reminds me. I didn't actually finish making that some arts for you.
That's okay.
Art.
Do that right now.
Arts.
We always love the Kelso arts.
Outside.
Art.
I'm just
Subject of
saying,
art.
it was
We,
smart.
Kelson and I played 7 hours worth of Firebrands 2 days ago.
That was so good though.
It was.
Thank
I'm
you for
jealous.
inviting me.
Little jelly.
Hey,
I'm glad we got to play.
you didn't just play Firebrand. You also DM'd a hilarious mask one shot that turned out to be the prequel to My Monday game,
I did.
which
Well,
turned out to go full circle on Monday.
Yes. Flambe is a wonderful villain.
Yep.
She had basically a cameo and then left.
We have two cooking themed supervillains, and I love it.
Well, one of them's dead now, unfortunately.
One of them is
Hey,
unfortunately-
spoilers! I'm watching on the
Spoiler.
YouTubes.
he's trying to catch up allegedly.
Oh, okay. Well, then, spoiler, one of them dies, but we can't tell you which one.
Hmm.
There you go.
And we had
Good job, Saint. Totally covered that up.
Bam!
we had a player also decide to join the supervillains.
Oh.
So yeah, they joined the supervillain organization known as Evil.
That sounds.
To be,
Sounds legit.
to be
Yeah.
fair, she didn't really have a choice.
Super villains apply within. You know?
Yeah,
Like- At least she texted us.
she did send some weird texts. That's true.
Weird. You just don't understand the language of emojis, and neither do I. Yeah, it was a choice. Join us or die. See, Ark understand.
That's okay. In our last game, Outro's other half actually totally like betrayed the party. He literally came in that game with a new character that he was so excited to play that was a super goody goody, and she betrayed the party and took them all evil.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just for chat, the people who are wondering, Evil means European Villains Immorality League.
Nice. I love it.
Nice.
Not every villain is lemons.
I like every villain in League. I think that's a pretty good one.
That is good though. I Desmond, I might borrow that and not give you credit.
Yeah, I go with the lemons personally too.
The only reason I got credit for all of the things that we made in that one shot was because I was like, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Look.
Yeah, no, I kind of told you I was gonna borrow that. I just didn't expect to do it so soon because the boss fight, once again became comedically short with unleashing true potential.
Moments of truth are
Or
great.
moments of truth. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I've had 2 instances of boss fights that just completely get invalidated because moments of truth just go, no, I'm God now.
X was going to give it to us, and then it got given to X.
But he's got to give it to you. I'm so confused.
Yeah, hey, it worked. It's true.
It's cyclical. The song is cyclical. He gives it to you and you give it back.
Desmond says I have to blame Saint for him being here, so royalties tonight go to Saint.
Thank you.
You can have my $2.31 from that resub that I got there. So you say.
All right.
That's a contract. Everybody heard it.
You heard it. Verbal contract, very binding.
Only if we're all in the state of California.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not that. That's
Only
not the
one
case.
part of the party. Well, 2 parts of the party are.
Yeah.
So
I'm close enough, I guess. No?
that doesn't count.
I am literally almost there. I'm in New Jersey, so I'm only like all the steps away.
You're not that far. You
Yeah, that's pretty nearby.
New Jersey, very close to California.
Very close, like almost on the border.
Yep.
canonically close to California.
Canonically. You see,
I mean, I feel like we're
California.
the same, right? So that has to count for something.
Did you know the United States is just California and then New Jersey? There's nothing in between.
Yes.
That's what I heard. I didn't know if that was like a fact or not, though. I don't know.
It's the thing of you ask somebody who's not from the U.S. It's like, so what do you know about the U.S. like where things are? And they'll be like, so there's like California on the West Coast, and then there's like some stuff in the middle. There's Texas, there's Florida, and then there's like New York. That's about it. Maybe DC.
Some people may know about Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Chicago, Miami, Seattle.
Oh, and Aspen in Colorado.
Well, Colorado is
Only Denver.
Colorado is actually surprisingly important for like American infrastructure, which kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, it's very important. It's kind of in the middle.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's important. It is like the central place, and they're like everything runs out of here, including like the internet and communications. And...
Rindis, have you ever read about the Denver airport conspiracy?
I love the Denver airport conspiracy. I have.
Oh, it's amazing. Go look at the Denver airport conspiracy. It's amazing.
I can find you a good short video on it.
Okay.
It's hilarious. It's one of my favorite things.
Oh, so it's a funny conspiracy and not like one of those like intriguing ones?
It's a little of both because there's some weird stuff for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of conspiracies, Area 51, am I right?
No.
Those people are gonna die. And it's
yes, they are.
They're gonna die or get arrested. Probably die because it's the Air Force.
They are allowed deadly force, and there are signs that tell you.
A meme, right? It was totally a meme.
That went way out of control.
Yeah. This, right? And like people have like legit booked hotels. Like people are like, "Hey, we're gonna meet up at this bar." Like people are legit like planning on doing this.
The original comparison I was told, which I think was accurate, was the Facebook event that was everybody shoot your guns at the hurricane that's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
And this just got way more out of hand because somehow this seemed more realistic than that.
No, it's all for the meme. It's all about the meme. People just want to make
joke meme site.
I'm gonna be real disappointed when no one shows up.
There are
somebody's gonna show up.
Denver airport conspiracies. Don't shoot guns at the hurricane.
Don't shoot guns at the hurricane, though.
I had to tell people not to shoot their guns at the moon the other day.
Don't shoot guns at the
Gravity
hurricane.
is real. Bullets are dangerous.
Yes.
Knock it off. Just stop.
YouTube channel, don't make me a liar. Where is this video?
Yeah.
Yes, I
There-
have heard this as well, Arc Survivor. You have to Naruto run, and then you can dodge all the bullets, so they'll be fine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
you just stay behind the Kevins. They'll soak up the worst of it.
Just arms behind them. You know, you gotta run like this.
But in terms of conspiracies, it's up there with like the Finland conspiracy, which is very funny, which is a conspiracy that Finland doesn't actually exist.
I am not up on my conspiracies. I need to hang out.
These ones are older conspiracies. 'Cause I
The
don't know
only-
any new ones.
The
These
only
are all older
conspiracy
ones.
that I really put any time and energy into is the Montauk Project, which that's a whole thing that I could just.
I don't even know what that is.
I need to.
It's kind of similar to the Philadelphia experiment. Like they're related
yeah, I know.
projects.
Okay,
yeah.
I get what you're talking about.
But the Montauk Project, like, there was a big flux of like missing children in the Northeast in the 80s and 90s, and apparently all those missing kids were being kidnapped to be test subjects for the Montauk Project, where they were testing psychic nonsense.
Oh, so it's a Tales from
I
the
would
Loop
actually
game.
believe
Yeah,
that.
basically.
I would
Like
actually
the-
believe they did that though. Like
Reese,
who scared goats nonsense. You know, and I can see the military doing that shit.
That's a 50s / 60s
Yeah,
experiment.
Reese, this is a good one. This is actually a channel I subscribe to for my daily dose of like alien and conspiracy theories. The guy's not like tinfoil hat crazy. He's just like, here's some weird stuff I found, so I'm going to tell you about it.
Gotcha.
Here's
Okay.
some-
He's like these are weird things that are happening, and I think they're cool, and I want to share them with you. He's
Because
not
you don't want to go full.
yeah. This isn't the waters turning the frogs gay crazy. But, like, he's like, here's the weird stuff. But the Denver one is so cool because it's just like there's like creepy fucking artwork, and nobody knows why. And then there was a bunch of like construction that didn't show up in the final project, and there's all these weird things, and then like
Yep.
people started talking about it, and then suddenly the airport made itself a meme in the airport, and they were
Yep.
like yeah, check out the weird shit that people are talking about.
Inception.
It's totally crazy and not a thing, wink. And they're like, if you draw attention to it, then we're just going to think it is a thing.
Memeception.
I-
They tried
So
to
the
memeception it.
Philadelphia experiment, sadly, 100% disproven. Although they
No.
were running secret tests at the time, and the running theory is that they were testing out a railgun.
Well,
That would
I
make
think a lot
sense.
of it had to do like
confirmed railguns have been a thing for a while, though.
Well,
They're-
they are
they
now, but at
actually-
the time
Back
they
in
weren't.
they actually just recently in the past few months retired the last boat that used like the weird camouflage that was like a bunch of crazy like bright color paintings on the side of
Oh,
ships.
the
So they based it on
Dazzle-
they based
Dazzle
the
camo,
projecting off of the Dazzle camo,
I
and
believe is what's called.
then they were like, "Ooh, we can use radio frequencies," and then people were just like, "Nope, these radio frequencies aren't for disorienting torpedoes. It's for shifting time around the fucking boats." Blur. That's the Philadelphia Project conspiracy.
And totally effing over all the animals in the ocean, by the way.
Yeah.
Take that, dolphins.
They made a lot of things dead doing
Dolphins are evil people. They deserve.
It's true. Dolphins are evil.
that. Evil people. but
They're evil
dolphins.
people. They deserve what they get.
Hey, I am all about our dolphin overlords. I'm pretty sure they're going to take over the world one day. And
I
Nah.
for one,
That would be
Octopuses. Yeah, octopuses are way more likely.
no, I for one welcome our robot overlords.
Exactly.
Robot overlords is also fairly likely.
I mean, I'm all for pretty much anybody that's not humans, because humans generally suck.
Yeah, that's a good point. Our friend, our friend Ender Friend in the chat is in the process of learning how to make robot overlords. So
I mean,
it's
Nice.
good.
to be fair, our last couple of years have all been lizard people, so
Sky,
Yeah,
what?
that's
really our fault.
But yeah, before we start getting political, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. It's been a
Lizard people
while.
are never
Look,
political.
we'll talk about fantasy politics instead. Like freaking Waterdeep. Can you believe the last like meeting they had? I don't know how Waterdeep's political system works.
For outro, now apparently you're super loud.
Uh-oh. Hold
I-
on. Let me check a
If you,
thing.
if you really want to talk Waterdeep politics in my Mad Mage
Test
game,
test.
we can
Good.
hear you.
I think it was a loose cable, Desmond. Sorry about that.
Get me.
In our Mad Mage game, Rez has appointed their bard as a masked lord just because they're like, yeah, with the dragon heist money, I just bought my way in because their tavern caters to specific clientele, and Mert is one of their proprietors. They had done a scroll spread with the Church of Sunni that included the masked lords as well as Mert, and they accidentally found one of Mert's pinups, and they're like, "We're just going to burn this and never talk about it again." And Mert also likes to frequent the leather and assless chap night. It's
Nice.
canon.
Well, there you
I
go.
mean,
I don't know who
it's a
Mert
good
is,
way to
but
be.
Cool.
Go ahead and Google Forgotten Realms Mert.
Forgotten Realms Mert.
You know what? Dragon Heist is very much
Dragon Heist is
trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Yes.
But you want to touch me? We have an invader.
Hi, Alex.
Oh, I spelled Mert wrong. It's M-I-R-T. I thought it was M-E-R-T.
Hi,
I was very
Alex.
confused. Hello. Hello.
It's tiny people.
It's
Why isn't your hair up in a mohawk, Alex?
because Mert is super
We
old.
don't have the gel in it right now.
Nah, no gel. Darn.
This guy.
Mert is the type of
Going
person.
out when he gets all pretty.
Mert is the type of
Mhm.
person who looks like he waxes his mustache.
Oh, he does.
Okay.
And Mert is incredibly awesome because basically he is the leader of the most secretive organization known as the Hoppers. And he does get he gets the Gaslow voice, and in my game it's canon that the most secretive order known as the Harpers is not a secret organization at all, because you can throw a rock into a crowded room and at least hit 3 Harpers, and each of them is more than happy to tell you they belong to the most secretive organization known as the Harpers.
If
I
reading any of the Driss Duorden books have told me anything, the Harpers are not secret at all.
No.
And that's why the joke is hilarious, because they are not very secretive, and
They're just
okay at what they do.
very selective of their members.
I've never met a person who's played in Waterdeep who's played in Forgotten Realms has been like, yes, the Harpers are a secret society.
Yeah, nobody treats them right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're because they always announce themselves. They bust the door. Hey, I'm part of the Harpers.
Yep.
Don't tell anyone.
And they recently met another Harper in Skullport last time we played, and he was a Dragonborn, and he was also very, very loud about everything.
So did the party
Test.
ally with the Harpers?
Yes, they didn't ally with the Harpers during Dragon Heist. They are currently allied with the Harpers to free Skullport from the hands of the Xanathar's Guild, which they have a personal beef with, and had stolen the Xanathar's prized goldfish at one point and held it for ransom.
It's a good plan.
Prize goldfish, eh?
Yeah, the Xanathar is big and deeply obsessed with his pet goldfish. And so during a mission where they had to break into the Xanathar's hideout to do something, they found the goldfish and were like, we need to make sure the Xanathar stops attacking our tavern. So what can we do? Let's hold his goldfish hostage. And so they brokered a deal with the Xanathar to get him his goldfish back. And the Xanathar made a personal appearance and had to swear that they would not bother the tavern anymore, and that he got the goldfish back.
Huh.
But now the Xanathar's Guild has infiltrated Skullport, and they're like, well, how can we help the Harpers retake Skullport? And they're like, well, we're going to turn the 13 Flame Skull rulers that used to be here, purify them of their they've gone senile, and I don't know what their seniality,
The senility.
yeah, they're like, we're gonna do a crazy ritual to cure them of their insanity so that they can deal with it. And it's just,
What?
So lobotomy.
yeah, they're gonna reverse lobotomize these flame skulls so that the flame skulls can basically forcibly take back the city, because they're like, basically the flame skulls are tough but fair, so we can accept their rule over the Xanathars.
Well, as long as they aren't the Flaming Fist. But anywho, we got
Alright.
about a half an hour before we lose Reese for a little bit. So why don't we jump into the game? Sorry to cut your...
We're running
No.
away from
D&D
Nangalore. That's what I remember
talk
from last
over-
time.
Yeah, running away from Nangalore.
Well, 3 of us are.
3 of you are.
Uh-oh, I didn't organize this
I'm
at
still,
all.
I'm still dead.
You're stuck. You're in stone.
Dead. Oh no.
You're practically dead until we get Greater Restoration, which is a long time from now. Which technically none of us can get Greater Restoration because none of us have divine magic. So
Not a bard, and or
Yeah.
even so.
There were options.
That's
We
weird.
definitely didn't plan on a healer, guys. It's true.
we were fine until we met a Medusa.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
little rough. But, anywho, so, last we left off, there was a bit of Nengaloring going on, led by the, I guess the guide known as Iku. They were looking for a certain type of plant to create medicines, for Port Nyanzaru. Upon arrival, they found a bunch of their plants, whatever, and then a storm picked up in which they were like, okay, one more flower. But Waxy decided to be a little weird, started not participating in combat and kind of being really passive against the wildlife around. Started drawing pictures, taking things in. And after a little while the gang was kind of dilly-dallying around, the keeper of Nangalore, Zalcore, I believe is her name. I don't have it up in front of me. Zalcore, a Medusa, arrived and began combat in which Iku was quickly dispatched, like crazy quickly. She made bad rolls, ended up getting turned to stone, and after being turned to stone, Zalcore pushed her over, shattering her, making her unredeemable, to say the least. The battle waged for a good, I don't know, it was, like 2 hours of the entire session. And, guess Waxy decided to run away out of frustration and fear due to the fact that she could not make any type of attack on the Medusa as a result of the I guess it was a poison or a curse that was caused by a flower while she was picking the medicinal herbs.
Either a poison or a curse. That is correct.
After that, the fight continued, in which our good friend Jabari was turned to stone as well. They were left as they were, and the fight continued. Slowly, Yina backed off, eventually leaving the scene, and just Shadow remained fighting. The fight got very close, and the Medusa was very close to death, but she summoned a spirit guardian, which caused Shadow to turn tail and flee as well. Now we are in a situation where we don't exactly know where Waxy is, but Yina and Shadow are together on the, I guess a bit further out than just like outside the walls of Nangalore, but we'll pick up with them. So what are you guys doing, Yina and Shadow?
Yelling and screaming a lot.
Arguing with each other, probably.
Stupid fucking snake, I will kill her.
We do not have the power or the ability to do that right now. We have to find your sister, and we have to get the hell out of here.
What was she doing anyway?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine now.
Iku's dead. Jabari is stoned. We lost Truffles already.
How are we going to get back to Nyanzaru anyway?
I don't care.
That would be a good answer if we weren't in the middle of a deadly jungle.
He just kind of like stalks off in a direction, not even knowing. Just like angrily starts swatting at the bushes with his rapier. Which does nothing, by the way, because it's a rapier. So.
Yeah, of course. And, yeah, so you just put your hands just like, okay. We have to stop and think. Where would Waxy have gone? You know her best.
I'll find Waxy.
Okay,
I'm actually going to start wandering around and doing our call.
Okay. Well, upon you starting that, let's cut over to Waxy. Waxy, where are you and what are you doing?
Last I checked, I was crying.
Hmm.
I was past, like, outside of, like, I had gone outside, crossed the river, and ran, like, another full movement's worth, you might say, before I, like, sat down and started crying, because I couldn't do shit. So I'm probably not all that far away when you start, calling.
Cool. I think it is fair enough. Oh, I broke my roll 20. Of course I did. That's just how everything works. I need to figure out what type of save you need to make and then make it. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Maybe.
By the way, before we get much further, did we get any experience from the last time? Are we still level 4?
No, you're level 5. I think I
We are
sent out
level
the
5.
experience.
We- You were not there last time when we were talking about it. I think.
Okay. Well,
We currently have
I can
8.
see what my son needs, and then I will come back and level up. How much experience do you have?
We currently total have 8,280 experience.
Perfect. All right, I'll be right back.
That should have been normal, but the first one's the higher one anyway, so.
Okay. Cool. You shake out of the thing that has kept you disoriented and docile, I guess. Did you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, I shake out of it. And so can I hear can I hear the call going on in the background?
I would assume so if you would like.
Yeah, I think I want to I want to hear it. So I'll return the call as soon as since I've shaken off the effects and I hear Shadow calling, I will go ahead and return the call. So you hear a bird call, Shadow.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you're back. I thought you stepped away, but I guess you have returned.
I have returned, so I'm gonna head off in that direction.
Yeah, I'm like at the base of a tree.
Do you
Yeah.
follow Yina?
Yeah, I do. Probably a little bit behind because I don't know which direction he's going, so I kind of just have to follow him.
Mhm.
He's much more dexterous than I am, so.
That's true.
Gotcha.
Uh,
So once you guys meet, I guess you kind of go from there. I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do.
where's the body?
The body is stone. What happened to you? Are you okay? What?
No, I couldn't. I could not. I could not attack anything. I couldn't. It was.
Now we've lost Truffles and Iku. Jabari's a brick. This is all going to shit.
It is. And we have on top of that the whole not resurrecting thing and the herbs we were supposed to get, which is now with Iku's broken stone corpse.
Without Iku, who's going to use them anyway? I don't know either.
I know it was a rhetorical question, but it still sounded like it needed a shrug, so.
I don't even know how we're going to get home.
That is what I am primarily worried about. We have to get back to Port Nianzaru. We are in no condition to go and fight the Medusa again. That's for sure. And where the hell else are we going to go?
The ghost of Iku says, Kirsaba.
Cool. Maybe the Aarakocra land and tell us that too. Who knows?
Does any of us have like a map?
That's a good question. Probably not.
I would say that there's like a pretty good chance of you guys being able to return the way you came. Like,
Wait.
Can
Who-
we see Firefinger from here?
No.
No.
the
especially because it's
fire's out.
burned
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You know what probably has at least a partial map of Chult in it? Volo's Guide.
Ooh, yeah. Can I pull that out? Take a look.
I don't know if it actually does. I'm just.
I don't expect that it will.
Oh,
I mean,
might as well look anyway. Be like,
Yeah,
what are
go for
Medusa
it.
like?
right?
Yeah, because the guide isn't so much about like locales as much as it's about monsters.
The one thing that I know is the guides always say follow the rivers. So I say we just turn around and follow the rivers back. We will follow this river over here to the mouth of the river, and then we can cross to the other river and follow that back to the port.
That is sound logic. I like this.
That's
But-
a good plan as any I've heard.
I have no other plan, so let's do it. I would say we're wasting time, but
We don't have many of our supplies.
yes.
I have
So-
no idea. We should take stock in inventory and see who is carrying what.
Ultimately, what I'm going to do is have the person who's best at survival in the party make a DC 13 survival check. If you make it, you can make it back to Port Nianzaro without an encounter. If you don't make it, you'll have one encounter before you make it back.
Does
I've
any-
got some free.
I got 0, so
Yeah,
I ain't doing
so
it.
I can.
All right, do it.
Go ahead, Waxy.
All right. Button. All right.
Button up. Yeah, we're all level 5.
Nat
Oh!
20.
Nice.
Woo!
Waxy just
Oh.
like threw our asses back there. She was like, over here. Oh.
She wrote it all down.
I was like, I mean, maybe I did. I've been keeping it as a thing.
Alright, I'm just trying to make sure, like, apparently my microphone's being a big problem.
I'm not hearing on my end, so which is a little bit strange.
It's got to be
Hmm.
something about the stream. Like, we hear a different audio feed than they do, unfortunately, so
Yeah.
it's hard to tell.
It's
Yep.
possible, but I can't even think what would be the case here. Oh well.
Yeah, nothing.
Anywho, so it takes like 2 to 3 weeks. You guys are beat the hell up. You probably have a couple levels of exhaustion, which we're going to like just ignore, and it's story value exhaustion at this point. So we arrive back at Port Nianzaro. You arrive back without your guide and without the son of a trader or merchant prince. There you go. I know words. I'm curious. Let me see.
Oh, good. First thing we do when we get back, dinosaur races.
Clearly.
I arrived riding a dinosaur.
Hell
It
yeah.
seems like we have- it seems like we have really good character motivation for that.
With
Okay.
dinosaur races?
Yes, I feel like you're 100% on point with like character goals right now. Dinosaur races.
I mean, what else are we doing here? Thanks.
Look, I have the party's best interest in mind when I say dinosaur races.
It's all about banana candy. Let's be
So-
real.
So when you guys get to the old city gate, one of the guardsmen like sees you and is familiar with you from when you left. Like they're like, Waxy, Shadow, where's the rest of your party?
Dead or stone.
We are lucky we made it back alive.
We were attacked by a Medusa. You were trying to get herbs from Nangalore under Iku's tutelage. But she is dead.
So the guard like looks down at his feet and he's just like, by the heavens. And Jabari? Jabari's gone too?
He is stone. There may be some way to save him, but none that I know of.
Hmm.
And Shadow
he-
looks like he's just like done with it all. Like
Yeah, and
over my time, like my rage is just kind of simmered to just like this deep sadness and like I look like I haven't slept at all. I look like I'm exhausted, obviously, because I am exhausted. But like I don't want to deal with anything. I'm just like I can't even get any emotion in my voice at this point. I'm just like answering his questions.
the guard's not in any position of power and understands what it's like to be in a party that like loses some on their way back. So he's just like he stops and he thinks and he's being sincere and he doesn't really say anything other than I'd hate to be the one to tell Jabal.
Cross that bridge when we come to it, and I kind of nod to him politely. Walk
Right,
along.
he like opens the gate or like whatever. So, I guess it's time to figure out what Rindis's character is and is all about. Because I haven't talked to you like at all about your character. Because I'm a really good GM.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
Well, we're about to find out if there is. What's up with your character, or how?
She's currently Naruto running towards the dinosaur pens.
Oh,
You didn't have time to confirm any of this, so I just have a blank slate to make it up. No. Where are they?
I didn't know this was an easy guy.
they are at the old
Wait,
city
your
gate.
character's from Japan? I didn't know we could do that.
I mean, it's Karator.
Like here.
I think it's Karator.
I need to be the high
I think
school
it's
Japanese-
Karen Tor.
No, it's
Karen.
Karator.
Kieran Tor is a World of Warcraft
That
thing.
is
Yeah,
a
Oops,
Warcraft
you're right.
reference,
That's
I dare
that's.
you. No,
Yeah.
Karator is the Asia side of the Faerun.
Wujo Forgotten Realms.
Yeah. Anyways, that's that. There, one of the islands is specifically supposed to be not Japan, but it's fine. Karator is just the go-to because they haven't supplemented it in decades. So,
And that's fine.
yeah, it's like any information is outdated. Child protest.
Yeah, he's like yelling at the TV or something.
Oh, okay.
As one does.
As
Yep.
one does, as you do. I would imagine she is busy being a street performer. Also, I need to do one quick thing before we decide how she is. Yeah! 2. Perfect.
She's stuck in a castle fighting demons.
Oh right, I need to I'll be back with you
Mm-hmm.
You'll
for,
be back.
for everything else.
Yeah, so she's probably performing because
Okay.
I get performance as a thing. She is doing. You probably see a slightly dark-skinned elf dressed in blue Kalimshan styled silks. Her hair is like is dark and braided, but she has very fiery eyes, and she's currently cracking a whip that's on fire and is like making compy dinosaurs jump through hoops and stuff. That's
Awesome.
also on fire.
Everything's on fire, including the
Everything's on fire
dinosaur.
right now.
Good.
It's very reflective of the team's mood.
So do you guys just kind of like walk past this performance on your way to like refuge or anything like that, or do you stop and watch, or
to be honest with you, I really don't want to derail the campaign, but like I feel like Shadow would just like go find a bed somewhere and just fall over into it.
Yeah, I figure I figure it'll be like you see them, like you walk past them on the street, and then you see them in the inn later that night or something like that.
Gotcha. I definitely take note, but I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, this is this is a new act. I mean, he hasn't been back in weeks, but like, this is new. This is interesting.
Now it's time for the flaming death. And then she lights a compy on fire. And dies.
to death.
I think
and she pauses and she just like makes a face and then jazz hands. Flaming death.
I think she, while we're walking by, Yuna kind of just leans over to Wax, and just like, seems a little overwrought. Needs a little bit of practice. But so do I. So
He just like totally murdered somebody in the crowd.
Are you going to offer to help her?
I think we should probably find lodging first. But
yeah, you guys look close to zombie. Like as I said, like if we were going to be going into combat before you got rushed, you'd be at like 3 or 4 stages of exhaustion.
Oh, we're dead.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's real bad. You don't
Yeah, I will go take a nap. That kind
Yeah.
of thing. Perhaps for about 8 hours. Sounds about right.
First things first, we go raid Iku's house. Am I right?
No.
Because
Ooh.
Lou,
No.
But think of the orphans.
Yeah. The orphanage.
But yeah, I figure Waxy and I will probably find where our family is set up, and they'll likely have some place for us to sleep, right?
All right. Yeah. If it's cool, I will hang out with you and your family. Otherwise, I'll go find somewhere else to bunk
Get
up.
out! Yeah, I'm
I
sure
will.
they'll have some place for us to rest.
Like they did.
I mean, there's a
Yeah,
Zaka.
around the street performers.
There is a Zaka, that's true, but I'd have to go find her, and that's not the thing I'm thinking about right now.
She's likely in that same like in that I keep forgetting the name that you guys have gone to twice.
Thundering lizard.
I was
Thundering
about to say,
Lizard. There you
something
go.
lizard.
If you'd
No, if
like,
it was
the
the
Thundering
Thunder-
Lizard is probably your best bet.
But what about the pondering lizard?
I mean, no, it doesn't
Okay.
exist.
Damn, I'm gonna make it. No, I will hang out with my party members instead of going and ditching them to find.
Or like a split the party.
No, I'm not gonna go find Azaka right now. Seems like a bad idea.
Alright. Well, I'm not gonna draw this out too much. You guys are just looking for a place to rest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you find a place to rest, whether it be an inn or wherever Waxy and Shadow called home prior to the adventures. You find a place and you can sleep there. You can hole up for as long as you need. Usually with the level of exhaustion, it doesn't get fixed in one long rest, so you may be here for a little while before heading back out, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's just time spent in the city. It's not so much like
But
real
it's a
life
pay
time. It's
for
going to
each
take
level,
forever.
I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's each long rest clears 1 level of exhaustion, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and during that time, you can take care of things within the city, like talking to Jabal.
Oh, good. That's gonna be a good time.
Or you
And
could
guess who
just
gets
avoid
to
it forever.
guess who's the face of our party? It's not me.
It's gonna be very
Yeah,
interesting.
obviously.
I'm sorry, sir.
You're
You're
a performer. You're good at this. It's fine.
it was the brother, right? Not the.
Yeah, brother.
Okay. Your brother is dead. Well, he's not dead. He's been turned to stone. Yeah. I'm sorry. Just the Western Union man showing up, being like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
Oops.
A singing telegram. Sorry
Yeah.
to say, your brother is stone.
Wow.
Candygram from Mongo.
So I forget his voice, but we can do that now if you'd like to knock it out, or do
Sure.
you want to do the introduction with your new party member now?
I think probably getting Jabal out of the way would be good.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah. So let's go talk to Jabal.
All right.
Jabal.
So you arrive at Jabal's manse, and he has like not only a secretary but like a guard and a schedule person. So like you'll arrive and they'll kind of give you a little bit of trouble, like, oh, he's in a meeting, you won't be able to talk to him until the 4th of next month, blah blah blah. And then
This directly concerns his family.
so you're talking to the schedule person, and then the secretary stops, and it's like, you speak of Jabari.
Nods.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one moment. And she stands up and like elegantly but quickly moves to a door, and then like taps 3 times and then enters. The door closes without a sound, and you're left for a moment in this room. The guard kind of like closes in closer to you, but doesn't like kind of draw arms or anything. Just kind of gets closer in case like something happens.
In Yuna's head, I swear to God, if he gets any closer, if I swear to the gods, if he gets any closer, I will fireball him.
I was just gonna say, Shadow kind of like growls at him. I am in no mood.
We have fought enough things already.
And he kind of does the "I'm not scared of you" and actually means it thing. So.
Oh, I know. I didn't expect him to be scared of me. I'm just like, I give no Fs at this point, so if you want to go, we can throw down.
So, as silently and quickly as she departed, the secretary returns and she says, "Give it a few minutes. He's still in a meeting, but he will see you immediately. Just wait here." So,
Right.
you guys are waiting. The guard kind of loosens up a little bit, seeing that you guys aren't going to like run, or that Jabal hasn't just ordered your incarceration on the spot. So he loosens up and he kind of gets back to his position at the door. The scheduling person obviously is frantic and like runs over to the secretary like, "Who am I going to push back? Where are we going to fit room for this? This is so important. The ships, we need to make sure they leave the docks, blah 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 blah, blah, that kind of thing." And like after a little while, a very small old lady walks out of that large silent door and like heads out the entrance that you guys came in, slowly but surely. The door is left open, but do you guys advance or do you wait to be like summoned?
Wait.
Yeah. The
Okay.
last thing we want to do is have a merchant prince be like, "Oh, you just walked into my room. That's breaking protocol."
Mm-hmm. So the secretary is like, "What are you waiting for? Go."
All right. Gets up, just like walks into the door, through the door, not into the door. That'd be weird.
Yina walks into the door and has a giant welt on her forehead.
Ow!
So you
25
come
years
in.
ago, from the door. It was a really hard door.
Yikes!
You go in and the door closes behind you. Like none of you guys close the door, but it closes behind you, and there's no mechanism. So you'd assume that the secretary closed the door behind you.
Or magic.
Or magic. Magic's always an option. This is a fantasy setting. And there are chairs enough for everybody. You guys are a little filthy, and it is pretty posh. So that's up to you.
I'm not filthy.
I mean-
I prestidigitated myself, obviously.
We went and got at least one night's sleep, right?
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that too.
You know,
otherwise
that's
we'd
a
be
good point.
exhaustion.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't just show up right when we got back and was just like, "Ah, yes, let's talk to Jabal."
Good point.
We are presentable.
They wouldn't even have let us in the building.
Yeah, they've been like, "Dirty
That-
adventurers, stay out."
So you guys walk in. He sees that there's only 3 of you. And he like looks to each one, and his eyes rest on Waxy. Waxy, does your look give anything away? Should I roll like an insight check or?
I don't know how good this. I don't know how good this merchant prince is at reading tabaxi tail.
Mm.
But if anything gives me away, it's the limp lay of my tail.
Mm. So I'd say pretty good, simply because like tabaxi are fairly common in the city, and he has to deal with different people in the minstrels all the time. So I don't know. I guess I'll just like slash R 1d20. I'll give him a +5. An 18 probably says that you guys
Oh
have,
yeah.
at the very least, says that you guys have bad news.
Mm-hmm.
So you arrive at my door without Iku, without my brother. What of Jabari?
That is a story. Allow me to begin, if you will.
And he like beckons for you to sit down if you're not already.
Yeah. He sits down, leg crossed. We had the doubt, as you know, to go to Nangalore. We arrived quite safely with Jabari and Iko. Everything was generally going fine. There were a few creatures that we had not expected, but they were not too much of an issue. However, as we were about to finish there, a Medusa appeared. No, appeared. It's a little bit strong, but for our purposes, it was appeared. And, well, the Medusa turned both Iku and Jabari to stone. Iku is dead. Jabari is still in Nangalore. We got back after tiring weeks of travel. Now we are here.
There's an expedition in Nengalore once, maybe twice a season. How is it that just now this is a problem? And he like slams his fist on his giant armchair and he's like, what a fucking idiot, my brother. Let me guess, he was trying to be a hero.
He was caught up in the Medusa. He didn't exactly have much time to react.
I almost had that riding snake bitch. And if he actually looks at me, like I'm probably like my hands are balled into fists, and I'm probably like cutting myself with my claws.
Hmm. So you said he's still there as a statue, but you said Iku is dead?
Yes.
What became of her?
She was shattered.
He hangs his head, and he's like, beyond the fact that she was a valuable resource to the city, she was a friend.
Yes.
To us as well.
The Medusa is vindictive, if nothing else. So, that's the entirety of it.
So what is your plan now?
I'm honestly not quite sure. There was another city that was another area, city. I am not Cholton, but mentioned Kir Sabal.
The Aarakocra. Their home place. They aren't very accepting of outsiders.
We may or may not have a contact, not in Kir Sabal itself, but generally. So,
Jobal, I'm going to be straight with you because I am very tired and we do not have much time. It was Iku's wish that we find the source of this thing that causes this non-resurrection. Likely we can get some information from these bird people. So we will head there and get the information.
Seems like a decent idea. As of right now, I'm sure you guys noticed on your last visit back here that the city has seen better days. There's no tourism. There's people are leaving. People are hearing news from the mainland in which that their family are getting sick and dying. People here are getting sick and dying. There's been word that has arrived back from Waterdeep, also from Baldur's Gate. The universities have been researching. They feel that whatever is causing this is coming from here. It's not this city, but somewhere in Cholt. You group of 3, while I can tell, are exhausted and the very least upset about the loss of so far 3 partners since you have started your adventures into the wilds. You're probably the best versed at the current events within the jungle. All other expeditions have ceased. There's expeditions that are still out there, none of which are sanctioned by the city, though. But as far as I can tell, you guys may be the best bet to seeing this death curse they've grown to calling it is ended.
Melodramatic, but effective.
I don't write the rules. I just relay the information.
She just blinks a couple seconds, just in her mind, being like, "Don't you rule part of this city? You do make the rules."
And he doesn't break eye contact with you. He's just like looking at you while you blink.
She just blinks, just like, okay. Right. Just like, we are honored that you have so much confidence in us, but our first order of business is to get a new member of our party, and then also to get a new guide. Currently, the first we will do among ourselves. However, the second, I am less sure of, as someone who is not from this great city. So if you have suggestions, recommendations, whatnot, I would appreciate it.
We already have a perfectly good guy.
So,
Do we?
Jabal rings a small crystal bell that makes no sound to you. And moments later, his scheduling person walks into the door, leans over, starts speaking in a whisper, and pulls out two certificates in which he signs, and then she hot stamps. And then both of those are handed, one to Shadow and one to Waxy.
What are they?
They are guide license.
Oh.
Oh.
I look at it and I look down.
Yeah, I'm gonna read mine as well.
You can still seek a guide if you wish, but nobody's going to stop you from going in and out of the city now.
That is appreciated.
I thank you, Jabal.
Well, we better not lose those. Well, is there anything else, Jabal?
I have a lot of thinking to do. And you all look like you need some rest, and you've deserved it. Don't go rushing right back into the jungle. Try to learn what you can while you're here in the city. Take care, and I'll be working on a means to get my brother back home.
Good. I hope
And
for...
I actually jolt out of my seat, and I move forward to his desk, and I put my hand, my paw, I guess, on his desk, and look at him, and I say, Jabari and I were friendly rivals at best, but I promise you, we will do whatever we can to bring him back. He was a member of our party, and we do not take this lightly.
Jabal nods, and he's like, if you'd like to be a part of the party that goes to return him, I may I may be sending them out sooner than you'll be ready to adventure back there. I'll keep you informed.
Thank you,
And
I appreciate that.
and Jabal says, like, this is terrible news and it takes a lot of my motivation out of the day, but I do still have meetings. Is there anything else you guys need from me?
Well, I cannot think of anything, but that's mostly because I am not a native Cholton, and my requirements are few. So
He
she's just kind
nods.
of just like leans back and like just puts her hands out to her party members, being like, "Do you have anything for the one of the merchant princes?"
Nope.
Would you be able to assist us with provisions at all? I hate to ask, but we lost much of our gear during the ensuing incident.
See the secretary. I've already arranged something for you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Now, if you all take your leave, I have to prepare for this meeting.
Of course. Gets up and just like heads for the door.
All right. So when you go to the secretary desk, which I'm guessing is like one of those circle like I don't know, like circle reception desks that like it's just like a chair space and then like desk all around it with like one of those lift up bar gates. So whenever one of you walk up to it,
All right,
The-
so at this point, I'm gonna escape. I will be back as soon as possible. Okay, guys.
okay.
All right.
So the secretary puts 3 satchels on like same size, same color satchels on the desk and just sits them down. Each of them contains 200 gold pieces.
Oh. So you said 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 600 gold. Where am I putting that? Adventuring gear? I guess adventuring gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Party gold.
3 times 200 GP. There we go. So we got 600 gold to spend on provisions. That's awfully generous of the merchant prince.
And before you step away, there's another letter put on top of the bags, and it's pretty much a statement of unlimited board to the Thundering Lizard, and all charges to go to Jabal.
Wow.
Sweet.
So it's pretty much for my own record keeping, so I don't have to pay remember how much you guys owe in room and board while you're in the city. Benefits me as much as you.
Yep. Writing that down as well. Cool. That means you can stay there forever and talk to Azaka forever, I guess, because that's where she is.
It's only the board though. Drink and food is not covered.
Oh, okay. No, well, it's room. The board is the food.
Oh, well then just room. Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
That still can stay there forever. Just can't eat there forever. Eat and drink there forever.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, you guys are done with what you were doing in that building there. Would
Cool.
you guys like to take a quick break, or do you want to keep going?
I think the next thing we're gonna do was be introduced to our new character, but the Rindus isn't here right now. So,
Oh, Rindus isn't here?
yeah.
Ah, he stepped away at the same time as Reese. He did say he was going to get ready for food. So,
Yes.
we're going to take a really quick 10-minute break, I would say, everybody. I'll be back as soon as I'm done, refilling my water bottle, and then we'll go from there once we got everybody back in.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
like the commander from the original movie, whose name I don't remember, because I don't remember his actor's name, even though he's a really good actor. And then like John Hamm is in the movie, Amy Adams is in the movie. Why? I don't know what their characters do, so who knows?
I just
Glad you brought us back.
I just brought you back mid rant about the new Top Gun movie.
mid sentence about how I don't understand what this movie is about. Maybe there'll be another trailer and it'll be like, oh yeah, this is about how this is a like Gran Torino type of movie, but like,
Or maybe there's just enough for you to be like, I don't know what this movie is about, but I remember Top Gun, so let's go watch it.
Honestly, I can't tell you
probably
what
what
a
it
lot of
is.
Top Gun was other than Goose Dies.
Top Gun was super gay.
yeah, but it wasn't but they were trying for it not to be gay.
Yes.
Is the thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, of course, they had that like what 4 or 5 minute love scene with that really awful song playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Tom Cruise in a nutshell. You can't.
That was
catch it.
every movie in the early to mid 90s though.
Mhm.
Armageddon, for
Never.
example.
Never will be as awkward as the unnecessarily long Watchmen sex scene, though.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
To a song that definitely wasn't meant to be played in that context.
Yeah. No.
I'm not recalling, but I'm glad.
Just you don't want to.
You don't want
Okay.
to. It is unpleasant and awkward.
Yes.
And,
Fair enough.
And just long. It's what, like a 5 or 6 minute long song, and they play it out they choreograph to the entire song.
Yep.
And it is they do various angles, and they hold on shots for ungodly amount of time.
Was it at least artistically rendered?
No,
No.
Damn.
no, it was,
There are no redeeming qualities to that scene.
I mean,
there are
there
no-
really aren't that many redeeming qualities to the movie as a whole. But
That's
that is
true.
one of
That's
the
why I
biggest
probably
offenses.
I'm like the HBO preview for the TV show just made me like super question marks just all over the place.
That
I'm like,
looks mildly interesting, and I'll at least watch the first episode to see what they do.
I don't have HBO, so I'm just gonna listen to what other people are saying.
Yeah, and it's like it looked neat because it takes on like that early vigilante part of it, which seemed more interesting than the superheroes have been outlaws, so we're gonna be superheroes anyway. So it's like,
All right, sure.
yeah. I'm gonna go check on the stakes. I'll be back.
uh-oh.
Oh. Sounds like you're
Trying,
raising.
yeah,
sounds like
trying to time getting back the same time Reese does. So
Hmm.
sounds like you're raising the stakes.
I am. I'm gonna raise the stakes,
Raise.
Good
them.
idea.
but taste the meat, not the heat, guys.
Mm. Here I go. Here I go. So yeah, the thing isn't beautiful because it lasts, which is why that scene can't be artistic because it lasted 10 times longer than it should have. No, it can't be artistic because yeah, I mean, there are other problems with it too, other than the lack of artistic merit. There we go. That's a good word for it. That's a word. Yeah. Subject of art.
Art.
Art. We've been doing art, not just in general. Here, maybe. The art of role-playing games?
Mhm.
That's an art.
Art of role playing games. Indeed, that is an art.
I agree.
Yeah, it is.
Did you guys want to do anything while Saint is off doing things?
I'm
That's the wrong
here,
button.
but you know. We could talk about, I don't know. We got things to talk about. I was talking about Shadow of the Beanstalk earlier.
We can talk about Shadow of the Beanstalk.
Not Shadow of the Beanstalk.
I
Other
didn't-
than my like Anarch Troublemaker, whoever wrote that doesn't know what anarchism is.
I mean, I think the benefit of the doubt explanation is that the Anarch faction / gang perverted the term in their whatever I don't know. I'm just really
Yeah, I was about to say there's like
really stretching here.
that would be a thing if like the way like factions worked that way, but that's not how the factions are defined. Because like the factions are the various megacorps. Because they're the only reason that they have a mechanical thing is that they have specific favors that are generally assigned to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then like so there's those various factions. Then there's organized. The thing I talked about when I was playing Deus Ex earlier today, which was organized in this organized crime is like there a lot of them have been conglomerated together, which is very strange. They're not all one thing as I'm now rereading it, but like apparently all of the drug cartels when the city was founded all merged together into one drug cartel, which is like that's not how organized crime works. There's a bunch of stuff. Same thing with like apparently basically in Android apparently all of the like big crime like all of the like different types of crime syndicates all merged together into like a couple of large ones, which is like sure, I understand why you do that for like convenience's sake, but like it's weird, especially because street gangs still exist on their own
Mm-hmm.
as separate from organized crime. Then there's the cops. Then there's the government, which is the government of the city, the government of Ecuador, which is technically separate, and the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
there's a PMC. There's a lunar independence faction because technically one of the districts of the city is on the moon.
Yep.
Which is interesting. And then you get to activist and terrorist groups, and the activist groups that they have are two pro-human / anti-android groups. The Opticon Foundation, who are like a non-profit whistleblower protection group.
Mm-hmm.
The Simulant Abolitionist Movement, which is pro-android, like, and then the last one describes as La Brigada Tricolor. There we go. Which is a early reversion activist group, who are the people who are like this city should stop being like a special zone and should be given back to Ecuador because it's their territory.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who wrote them as well are like generally were just because there's not very much on them, and it's just like, oh yeah, they're violent. The police treat them as terrorists, and though they publicly claim their goal is an autonomous nuevo Angeles Libre, many suspect the group truly only seeks power for itself. It's just like, really? The only revolutionary group you give us? Many people suspect they wanted power for themselves. All right, cool. That's good. These are the people that you'd probably be most likely to work with, other than like the Opticon Foundation and like SAM, which is the Simulant Abolitionist Movement. The Anarch's not described until that chapter, until the adversaries, which is strange because if you played Android Netrunner, Anarch is one of the groups you play as you play runners.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm not super familiar with, and I'm like ASMR leaning around my microphone right now for purposes. I'm not super familiar with the setting, but it sounds super cool. I don't know, Shadow of the Beanstalk, like you're giving it a bunch of criticism, but at the same rate, I'm like, I could get past those flaws.
Oh no, this is like it's still a really good setting. These are a few things where I'm like, could be better. Yeah, it's a very much it could be better because overall, Android's a really cool setting, and Shadow of the Beanstalk is a very cool is a very good book for that. I'm a big fan of like a lot of the stuff in it. It's mostly just like those few things where like the people who wrote it probably should have written more about the groups that you would like you as players would actually want to ally with if you want a cyberpunk experience. So
Yeah.
that is my opinion, where it's like I would think that like as much description as there is, because this isn't Shadowrun where you've already sold out. This is Android, and in Netrunner you are like if you play as the runners, you're running against corporations specifically, and not for other corporations. You're running yourself against corporations.
Gotcha.
Usually, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Also, merging all organized crime together is weird, just in general, because of how crime groups work. There we go. But like a lot of the other stuff in it is awesome. Like the stuff, like a lot of the equipment's really cool. They have a thing called the favor economy, which I really like, which is a little bit of a more like transhumanist slash like post capitalist economy thing where it's like, yes, you trade favors for stuff instead of like currency. Though there is still currency involved because you're in a capitalist society, friends, with mega corporations.
That was one of the things that I like the
So-
most about the most about Vampire is that like the actual currency is based off of favors, not so much money.
Yeah.
Like yes, money exists, but it's like not as important.
Social capital is an interesting one to have in role playing games, especially because especially for people who are used to Dungeons and Dragons, which we're playing right now. It's very much it's a cash based economy, and at some point you're gonna be like, what do I do with all my money?
Right.
Where
Destroy
maybe
somebody else's economy.
yeah, just Mansa Musa it and just like walk through their territory, throwing gold everywhere, destroying their economy. An excellent way to destroy people's economies, for sure. I'm also very happy that when they had weapon options, they did have some non-lethal options. That one's good. That's something that's cool and for futures of role-playing games where it's like, maybe we aren't just like murder hobos who want to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe we're like a hacker group.
What?
But like
Not murder hobos? Are you
but
sure?
like future Garoots are super cool. Like
Yes.
laser choke wire, hell yeah.
Yeah, future Garrots are super cool. Like there's a lot of cool stuff. There's this thing called like the other stuff where it's like you have for armor, it's like you got clothing type armor and then you have combat suits, which are generally exosuits. It's like you have normal clothing and then you have power armor, which is always a fun time. Personally.
I mean, that's kind of how my closet would play out if it was sci-fi setting. Normal clothes, power armor.
power armor.
Mhm.
I'm a personal fan when I do sci-fi stuff, having smart clothing is one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
I generally just have that in settings, which is a thing from Eclipse Phase. That I brought into other games where it's like it's a piece of clothing that you can just like program to be whatever you want it to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garrote is an iconic stealth weapon. The issue for settings as far as role-playing games goes is it's hard to do for a lot of games to do not a lot of games, but for some games to do like stealth, like spy games. Like I remember a few weeks ago when Adam reviewed the spy game, and then they did that role play one shot, and it was like there is no way to like one shot take down guards in a game about being like modern spies because 5th edition doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It's there. Yeah.
Stars Without Number has mechanics for it. Stars Without Number is very base. Like, I feel like Stars Without Number requires a bunch of building onto it to make it what you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it does have an execute system, and it has a lot of different ways to do stuff.
There's the assassin. If you take the assassin focus, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's like second level of assassin focus. You can just like, if nobody can physically stop you, then you can just get your target with melee, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like there are other games that are out there that could probably do it. Like if you're doing Blades, you could do it pretty easily. If you're doing I'm trying to think. Like Knights Black Agents, I think you can do that kind of thing. That is a game should probably look up an actual play of because I have it. I've never seen anybody play it. So yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I haven't
yeah,
heard it either.
it's Knights Black Agents. It's the same. It's made off the Gumshoe system, which is also used for the Esso Terrorists. But I know Knights Black Agents is a little bit better. It's a game in which you play like modern day spies that like had just like come off the Cold War, so they're like getting recruited by this organization to fight vampires.
Oh.
Yeah.
As you do.
Oh right, yeah, as you do.
Yes, you do. The system itself it's basically there are two sections. There's the investigation portion and the action portion. And the investigation portion is very like you don't roll in the investigation portion, but in the action portion you do. The investigation portion is very much like gathering clues and like figuring things out, and has a very cool system for it from what I remember reading of it. And then the action system's like you put all of the things you got from the investigation system into action to go and figure out the vampire conspiracy that's around the world, because as you do, vampire conspiracies.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no conspiracy involving vampires at all.
What? How did you know? There is no conspiracy. There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
The biggest conspiracy is that there wasn't a conspiracy at all.
Damn. Actually, it's VTC, Vampire the Conspiracy, not Vampire the Masquerade.
Has anybody ever played Vampire the Dark Ages?
No, I have seen people play it. I've never heard anybody. I've never played it personally. But then again, I haven't really played World of Darkness games, so I'm the wrong person to ask on that one.
Fair. Speaking of World of Darkness games, I have a Vampire LARP on Saturday.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Fun.
Reese is actually
Exciting.
one of the storytellers.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Mhm. It's gonna be fun. My character's probably gonna die.
Oh.
That's how you know it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's when you know.
Oh, I've been wanting this character to die forever. It's just a Bruja. It's like a I don't know my sire, and I've only been a vampire for like 2 years, Bruja.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, I'm just getting into all sorts of trouble.
It's like if you played Bloodlines, but you just like didn't go down the main quest. You just kind of sat at the beginning for like a year, and you're like, "What am I?" Question, though, in a vampire LARP, what happens when you die?
You make a new character and you play the new character.
Oh, cool. Because
I mean, you can have some very interesting deaths.
A beautiful death. Because I've talked to other people, with for other types of LARPs, and some have a little bit different protocols, but different protocols. Yeah, I forgot that the talents that are added in Shadow the Beanstalk are just literally added on top of the ones from the original book.
Yeah.
So that's good. Animal Companion, tier 3 talent. Can't start with an well, you can if you spend all of your XP on it.
I mean, everybody wants a pet.
Yeah, Genesis, the talent system works in that it's tiered. So in order to get a tier 3 talent, you have to have 3 tier 1 talents and 2 tier 2 talents. Give me Doggo Pet level 1 or I quit. I wish. What skill would that be?
Here you go, Beastmaster Ranger.
What's the pet the dog skill?
What's the pet the dog skill?
Yeah, what's the pet the dog skill?
Gosh.
I follow a Twitter account that exclusively tells me
Charm?
what games
Charm.
I
Cool.
can pet the dog
Cool.
in.
Could be cool. Could be cool. Could be charm. I'd say either way, cool or charm.
Yeah.
Whatever, it reduces one stress.
Pet the doggo. Reduces 1 stress. Or if you're playing Darkest Dungeon, reduces like 8 stress for your entire party.
Oh,
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon.
I love that game. Never finished it.
Oh, man. The problem I have with that game is, like, I'll always get a great group of people, and then I'll go to a different place, and they just fucking suck and all die.
Yep. Yep. That's why you need to run away sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta run away. Sometimes you just gotta get the hell out. because otherwise you'll die. Did you die in my run? I have to go check. I don't think you did, Desmond. I think you were the because I didn't have very many gestures. I think the gesture's still laughing because I didn't have very many gestures in that run.
Did my librarian or Hellion die? My Hellion did, I think. I think I watched the Hellion.
I think the Hellion did.
Yeah.
I think she just bit the dust in a boss battle, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was like a few hours after you named her too.
Yeah. Yeah, you were the lone survivor of that of that outing. It's true. Not the same outing, a different outing. Still. That game just oof. The issue is if I wanted to finish it, I should have done it without the DLCs. That was my problem. I think I probably stopped playing for probably like a week later. So there is that. I don't know. I stopped playing and I had a bench of Phoenix Wright because Phoenix Wright is great.
I'm glad you played all the way through Phoenix Wright because I don't know if I would have been able to play all the way through it.
But Justice for All is so worth it.
The problem is I have really, really bad ADHD.
But you played all of Danganronpa.
Yes. The first one and then the second one was in like 8 sittings and then I watched the third one on Let's Plays. So
I have been told that the third one's not very good, so there is that.
Anybody care about spoiler warnings for the third Danganronpa game?
That should probably be a question for chat.
Hey chat, do you care about the third Danganronpa game? Big spoils, endgame treats coming in. Hey Rindis. Rindis, do you care about spoils for the third Danganronpa game?
I don't play Danganronpa, so
Okay, so the third Danganronpa game is called Danganronpa V3.
oh.
The V stands for 5. It's Danganronpa 53. That's
What?
the whole thing.
That's just bad Roman numerals.
That's not how numerals work. So before we begin here,
It should have been C3.
here's some food porn for you guys.
Let's say it. Just don't dump it on your keyboard.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh man, that's a full plate. Oh,
That is
it
a
looks
full
so
Steamed
good.
vegetables, some
This is
French
not-
bread, mac and cheese.
Oof. This is our food and drink stream. It's a what's the Korean eating streams called?
Oh no, that one kid makes a
Um,
lot of money though.
What is it called?
I'll also be putting up bathwater later if anyone's in.
Bathwater.
God, what is that? What are those called?
I don't know. I'm not.
They
I'm
have,
more.
they have a name. So it's social eating, but it has a Korean name that's mostly known by mukbang. Yeah, thank you, Desmond. That's what it's called.
He won't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know you. I can't cast judgment.
See, the
Yeah,
thing
mukbang.
is I would probably like watch one of those streams and not have a problem with it, but I can't eat in public. Like I have such weird like self-consciousness about it.
You become acutely aware of your chewing.
A little bit. I mean, there's certain things that like if I'm eating a soup or a noodly dish, like it's not a big deal, but like I don't know, I won't
now
order
aware.
barbecue.
Those are like messier.
I don't like eating on stream generally.
I'm the worst. I'll totally eat on stream. I mean,
Yeah, I was like, don't watch me because I have no shame about it.
right now,
I-
it's like,
Yeah. I usually apologize when I'm like, hey, I'm gonna, because it's usually a like mostly, not want to have mouth sounds. I think it's partly a voice actor thing of like not wanting to have mouth sounds.
I feel bad about that because yesterday apparently I forgot to remute myself while I was finishing my dinner, and there were some heavy smacking and plate scraping because it was some really good Chinese.
Oh, you drag your fork on your plate.
I'm
Oh,
a horrible individual.
stop it. No.
Ow.
Sorry, that was intentional.
Oh, that's like a deal breaker for friendship. We can't be friends anymore. This is over.
Rin has been banned from the stream. I'm usually more conscious of it, but if I'm like muted, I'm not so.
just got like my 3rd dose of goosebumps from that. Anywho, Rindis, quick, what's your character? Don't finish that bite.
Oh yeah, we can actually get your character introduced because we were only supposed to have a 10-minute break.
Yeah, it's been like a half an hour. This whole episode has just been you
Look,
know,
I got to talk about.
we're
Shadow of
coming
the
back
Beast.
softly.
Oh, see, yeah, I planned. I thought I mentioned I was gonna go cook my dinner while he was gone.
Oh
so-
no, you did. Oh, you did.
did.
It was mostly a like we didn't coordinate as well as we should have.
Oh,
Hey
okay.
everybody, we're professionals.
So I am playing an Eladrin
Ooh.
named Keeline Embershadow. And she is not a performer at all, but she has the noble background, and she's here in Cholt doing whatever because the mood struck her.
Hey, another non-Cholton.
Mhm.
Yay! Another non-Cholton
know what's going
performer too.
Yeah. No, not a performer. Noble.
Mhm.
Yeah, but she also performs.
I get performance as a thingy for Blade Singer, but I'm very bad at it.
Ah, fair.
You have a +5 in it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like decent charisma and being trained.
Yeah, exactly. Considering we all have +3 proficiency bonus, that's pretty good. So.
Also, the artist finished our Malkavian
Ooh.
for. So here's some Malkavian art.
Malkuvian. Malkuvian.
One of these days, our Tomb of Annihilation game is just going to turn into a talk show, and it's not even going to bug me. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Tomb of. I didn't have a word with an A in it that would work. So.
Let's just start like a live streamed podcast where we don't even have a topic, we just talk.
Yeah. Those exist. It's called a talk show.
Call it talk
They
show.
do. They can't. Yep.
Normally they have topic. A Tomb of Excessive Conversation.
Look at our
I
code.
feel like that's a shot fired.
Not even a tomb at that point.
Anywho, when last we left off,
There we go.
you guys got yourself 600 gold pieces and permanent room at the Thundering Lizard.
But not bored. Importantly.
Yes, you have to pay for your food and drink. You
Quite
don't
Two
be
by
a
four sold
freeloader.
separately.
Look, we can go out into the jungle and hunt our own food. That would be.
Fine.
That would be a
Do it
lot. That'd be a lot of time we'd have to spend doing that.
You can pay a copper. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Or I can get Azaka pay for me.
Oh, I want to see this.
Why is this tiger so big?
Why is there a tiger? There's a tiger loose in the streets.
Why is it so big?
It's a mecha tiger. A mega. I meant
Look at
mega
its
tiger.
eyes.
Now it's a
Hold on,
mecha tiger. So.
I feel it's important. That's
Look at
what
those
she said.
red eyes.
It's a mecha tiger. I was right. If it has red eyes, it must be a robot.
Okay, I just
That's
wanted to see
Robot.
what it
That's
was because it
Robot.
was a really
Robot.
weird color.
Mm,
Cholton robots.
mhm.
Maybe the Cholton made Warforged and we just didn't know about it.
Ha.
Cholton Warforged would be really cool. They'd all have Yukawas. Like,
I'd
We definitely may not have to fight something akin to that later.
probably, maybe not. Yes, yeah, definitely not.
Whoops! Sorry, everybody. I accidentally spoiled something they didn't know about.
I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens. Cholton Warforged. You heard it here first, folks.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. They're not from Eberron. They're actually from Cholt.
Ubtao.
Explains
with
so
big
much.
Energy just made Warforged because he could.
Yeah, and all Cholton Warforged will insist, always insist, when somebody says Cholt is an island, that is in fact a peninsula.
I mean, that's how they remember it, so it's important.
Yeah, it's a peninsula. Better believe it. So yeah, where do we meet? do we meet you at the Thundering Lizard? Like, what's going on? Do we go to the dinosaur races?
Is that where you guys have ended up?
She's
Yes.
eating steak with
Yeah, I'm
Italian
showing you
bread and steamed veggies and macaroni and cheese at the Thundering
Mm.
Lizard.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Macaroni and cheese, a very Chilton dish.
Yeah, it is.
That was what I had for dinner.
The Flaming Fist taught them how to make pasta shells.
Little did we know the Thundering Lizard special is actually mac and cheese.
Oh, that'd be so
They
good.
make.
Probably with crab, because crabs are
Mm.
probably
Oh, yeah,
abundant.
That'd actually be
Crab is
really good.
Actually, that's real good. That's much
I've
better
had-
than what I had.
Having had lobster mac and cheese, I can see how good crab mac and cheese would be. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, the Malkavian in that art
share.
share, the Malkavian in that art you shared looks very Bruja.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
Anyway, you're,
Um,
you
the this is Tomb Annihilation related, but if
okay.
if Yina wants some like
So it is a peninsula.
if Yina wants some campaign goals, there are definitely some like crab/lobster people somewhere on this map.
Ah.
If you want to go questing for the ultimate lobster mac and cheese,
God damn it.
I'll allow it. I will let you put that in your side quest box.
Side quest box, find the lobster people. Okay.
And then cook
Alright.
them into a macaroni dish.
I don't know if I'll remember that down the road. So
they're evil alignment, so it's not like you have to be conflicted about eating them.
true. Well, thanks, Dungeons and Dragons. That's right. Chult is once again a peninsula. See,
Archipelago.
yeah, archipelago.
So what starts you guys conversing?
Uh,
I want to be performing at the Thundering Lizard for my room and board.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe
does
doing
that give Yina an opportunity to try to perform with you, or try to upstage you, or?
And now I shall need a beautiful assistant.
I don't need to upstage her.
And then she cracks a whip and it snaps over Yina and Azaka's table. She's like, "Yes, you, Kanasi. Come upstage."
Wait, is Azaka at the table now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put
Okay.
Azaka at the table.
I like
Yeah,
to
like-
think that when your whip cracks, it like prestidigitates some like fireworks down on the table.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and Yina like she puts her hand up to like where the whip was and continues the prestidigitation of like more sparks because she's gonna help in this performance.
Azaka
obviously.
has a moment of like she accidentally lets her guard down and kind of like does like a really excited clap.
She's blushing, both embarrassed and well.
Well, she blushes afterwards. She's like, "Oh shit,
Ah.
I just stopped being terrifyingly badass for a moment."
Yeah, but Yuna comes up to the stage and like stands there in a like kind of expectantly, just like, all right, what am I doing?
Yes. So
What's the
for my next trick, my beautiful assistant, and she gestures to Yina, and she says, "We shall make you levitate."
It's just like, I feel like this is profiling.
But they don't know that.
Yeah.
She does. She gives the like knowing wink.
It's just-
Just like she's just like, all right, 2 chairs, lay you across it, be
Yeah.
stiff as a board, and then we're going to.
At
Make
least
you
one
levitate.
person in the crowd that isn't part of the party knows that Yina can levitate by her
Boo.
racial situation.
It's almost like I've performed here before.
But has she performed levitation?
I don't
I
think so. You
Prob-
danced.
Probably just magic, not levitation itself. But
Because you couldn't levitate last time we were in town, could you?
It's
no,
a
I could.
racial
I-
thing.
oh
it's
a-
no, I couldn't because I wasn't level.
Ah,
Yeah.
Was it? I'm gonna check. Hold on. I think I could because it is a racial thing.
Is
No,
it-
I could. It's just a racial trait that I have.
Well,
Yep.
yep. All right. So, yeah. So you're gonna just be like, yeah, we're gonna make you levitate, and so she just recites some magic words, and I'm assuming this will be like with advantage because I'm getting help, and kaboom.
Yep.
14. It's all right.
It's all right.
So it's fairly convincing. You levitate her. Yina, do you levitate yourself, or does your new friend levitate you?
I'm almost 100% sure my new friend doesn't have the levitate spell, so I levitate
Not.
myself. So I'm just like, I see what's happening. This person has profiled me, but also I understand their performance, so I'm gonna join it.
So might as well help out.
Might as well help out.
So Yina levitates. Azaka claps.
Yay!
Okay. Does your performance continue?
Yeah, what do you do next as I'm levitating?
And then I shall make. Let's see, what can I do? What can I get away with?
You cast
Just-
fireball.
Yeah, I was about
I
to say.
cast fire. I have that.
Oh, good. We both have fireball. 2 fireball.
I mean, it's really good to have 2 fireballs.
It's very likely that I won't cast fireball. Fireball for me is a last resort. I will be spamming haste.
Ah. Okay.
Ooh, haste is so strong. We don't have a fighter or anything though. I guess Shadow's a good and wait,
We have a
Wax.
monk.
Yeah,
Waxy is
Waxy and
Waxy
Shadow
is
are
getting
great
haste.
haste targets.
Waxy's gonna do like 6 sunbolts in 1 turn at some point
Uh-huh.
or something.
That's
like,
gonna be fantastic. I'm looking forward.
Waxy is just going to be a machine gun turret. It's fine.
You hear it here first. Haste is not just broken in Final Fantasy games; it's broken
Nope.
in D&D as well.
And then you enlarge person and haste, and it's just actually they're both.
you have enlarged person?
Yes, but they're both concentration, so that's not actually.
Yeah, so you need 2 wizards.
Oh, I was talking about right now for the performance.
I do have enlarged person. I have enlarge and reduce.
You could do either, or you could do
And
something
now-
else.
And now I shall make her tiny, and then I cast reduce to shrink.
Yeah, she wasn't expecting it, but she's not gonna resist. She's like, again, this is part of the act. Yeah.
So,
she puts down 1 size category.
you go down 1 size category.
Yeah, because she casts reduce on me. So
Melee attacks are going to become shit, guys.
Azaka blushes way harder.
Interesting.
interesting. Okay.
New spell to add to list. All right.
I don't know if I could get enlarge reduce as a spell. So
I mean, you should. It's on the sorcerer list.
is it? Then I probably. Oh, it's a level 3.
Second level.
Second level. Okay. It's what I'll switch out. Probably like Phantasmal Force or Mind Spike for.
There you go.
So while you guys are performing, Azaka's like, "Do you want another drink, Waxy?" She's like, slightly slurry, but not terrible.
At this point, I think I need one.
Okay, so she gets up and goes to the bar.
I'm gonna take out one of the rings and light it on fire. I'm doing the look, no wires thing with her while she's singing. All I wanna do is see you turn into a tiny woman.
All right. Again, Yuna's just like, I'm just gonna have to give some tips later. But of course, being the performer doesn't show on her face.
Azaka starts humming along.
Yes. Operation Steal Your Girlfriend is a go.
I swear. I swear. Yeah. So, what exactly are you doing next? What does it look like you're doing next? I should say.
We're going to coordinate. I'm going to move into the crowd
Mhm.
and just be like, well, I think it's time for our assistant to get back to her seat. And I've positioned it perfectly to non-lethally lightning lure you with my whip.
Oh. So I'm floating, or I'm still floating,
You're still
and then
floating.
you're gonna lightning lure me.
You're still floating. You're still tiny, and I'm gonna lightning lure you into Azaka's arms.
All right. All right. I like it. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Let me when you because I seen something's coming. Prestidigitation, so there's sparks or something when the whip hits. So I'm just getting lightning lured.
Let's see if we can get a good number out of this.
Am I dead yet?
Everybody's dead.
Nope.
Yep.
Sweet.
I just killed Yina with lightning lure.
Nice.
Again.
23.
Oh
All
my
right, so
God.
you drop her right in the bread basket.
Right in the bread basket.
Yeah.
with
Well,
a
no,
23.
not the bread basket, like the American football term.
Oh,
the-
okay. I was like, I don't think a 23 means I fudged it.
I meant the American football term. So
Ah.
Tiny Yina falls delicately into the arms of Azaka.
Yeah.
And Azaka is none the aware until she looks down, because she's carrying drinks back to the table. In her, like, I guess, like, space between her elbow and her forearm, Yina lands perfectly, I guess. Like, how do you land? Do you land on your feet? Do you land on your back, like, giving, like, a pose? Like,
Yina's,
Look at Princess Carrie.
I believe how reduce works is it reduces your like dimensions by like half.
Oh,
if I
okay.
remember
So
correctly.
you're not,
So
like,
she's,
super
like-
tiny.
No, she's like 2.5 feet tall
Okay.
at this point. So
So she's small, but she's not tiny.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's like the size of a halfling. She's not like like a sprite or something.
That's fair.
But yeah, she like lands in a pose.
I would time it so that her hands weren't full. So
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah,
So,
she lands in a pose like
Azaka blushes
Ah.
super hard and, like, does the look away kind of thing. Like, oh my goodness.
yeah. And there's some more like sparks and like small fireworks with prestidigitation. Of course,
You guys are super compromising Azaka's badass appearance.
Well, that's just too bad.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. It's almost like she's into a performer, so like
Yeah.
gotta
As a-
perform.
Azaka had to try real hard to turn her head away instead of, like, try to steal a kiss. But, anywho, that concludes. Everybody clap. Some people stand. Gold is showered onto the, well, silver and copper. Let's not be too rich here. Is
Money.
showered onto the stage. The barkeep walks over to the edge of the stage and, like, beckons Rindus's character over and says, "Your room's covered for the night. If you do one more showing in an hour."
I suppose I could manage it.
He nods and goes back to the bar and serves, like, somebody, like, some swill.
Yeah. Yina is still levitating, so she's just gonna be like, go to Zach, be like, I'll be back in a second, and like kick off and go back over to Kilana? Is that how you say your character's name? Kilane. Thank you. I go over to Kilane, it's just like, look up, or not look up, because she's at the same level as Kilane, but like obviously is like half her size.
Azaka does that whole, like,
drift.
Japanese anime sigh while putting her head down on both of her like her hands while they're both elbowed on the table. Like the,
Fixes that.
she's so drammy thing as you scoot away. Anywho, have your
And
conversation.
She drifts up.
And kind of roll my eyes.
She's so extra, it's fine.
You guys are playing with this badass barbarian woman's heart. That's all I'm saying.
And
And
um,
oh,
but yeah, Yina drifts over. Hello, that was an impressive performance.
yes, thank you for humoring my little stunt there.
Of course, I have to help out our fellow performers after all. But I could give you a few tips. Okay, been doing this a little bit longer than you.
Had to be condescending.
Yeah,
Just a little
couldn't
bit.
resist.
Yeah, it's part of my flaw. It's insults.
Hmm. Well, I'm not really a performer. It's just something I do as a hobby, but I'm more than willing to listen.
Oh, good. Would you like to join me and my friends,
Of course.
please?
Shadow slinks over to the table and, like, steals Yina's drink. I guess. Well, no, Shadow's here. Shadow, you can dictate how you handle that.
I mean, I have no idea what's even going on, so I was probably
We just did a performance.
somewhere being all pissed off, and
We just did an awesome performance.
Shadow's in his emo phase, so he's kind of
Yeah.
like not paying attention, grumbling to himself, probably
We-
drinking.
We did a performance. At the end of it, Yuna is levitating and is half her size.
Yeah,
So.
it should do.
Casually.
You know, the norm.
The norm, yeah. Also, Azaka's there being real embarrassed.
It's Yuna, the tiny magical Faerunian Ganassi.
Yep, that's right.
That's me.
That's me.
So
Yeah.
as you kind of come over, I look up from my ale and I'm like, do you really think this is time to make merry?
Well, we have to find another member of our party, don't we? And the way I do that is by performance. And I imagine while she was going over, she's like, Killing is just like, oh, I'm sorry, I never introduced myself. My name's Yina.
Yina, nice to meet you. And she'll
Nice.
like shake tiny hand,
Yeah.
and then she'll look over to Waxing in Shadow and I'm Yina, or I'm you. Now I've assumed you're.
No.
I touched your hand and now I look like you.
I
Honey
do.
statures.
I do. No, I just do the Captain Ginyu. I just I shoot a beam out my mouth and we switch places.
I need you to do the pose though. I need you to
I'll find it later.
I shall
There's a-
beat you.
we have some OCs, friends of ours. We did a Ginyu Force style character pose.
Nice.
I'll find it later because it's
That's amazing.
But yeah, she's like, Kilene Ember Shadow, I'm new to Schuld, hearing there's some interesting things happening. Did you know people are dying?
Oh.
Dying.
Did you like puts a hand just like,
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been weeks now, so it's
yeah.
there's widespread panic.
Shadow's just like gripping his cup like tighter and tighter and tighter.
We are well aware, which is actually part of why I brought you over here. You see, we are, perhaps it is obvious, perhaps it's not, we are adventurers. We have been out of the city, and we're at a little bit of a bind, call it that. We have found ourselves an opening for a new member of our group. We've
Well,
been
far
looking.
be it from me to ask what happened to the last poor fellow, but I think you. Shadow coughs audibly. But I think if you're looking for somebody capable, well, I could put down my. And she like takes out a piece of paper and slaps it on the table. My resume.
Pick up and read this thing.
Yeah, Shadow's like, have a resume.
Yeah, resume.
It says Kilene Ember Shadow, a Ladrin extraordinaire. I do magic and shit.
What is this and shit part?
It's Feywild expression. It means I do magic and stuff,
Ah, I understand. Okay.
not literal human shit, because that's gross.
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like you have to. Because if you
Hey,
don't
Shadow,
have-
by the way, when you guys
Fun-
left,
Fun thing about Eladrins in the Feywild, we actually just store all of our excess energy, and
it turns to rainbows.
it works as like a natural fuel. Our glorious leader taught us the secret technique, and we never need to shit ever.
Oh, I see. That is quite impressive.
hey, Shadow. So, when you guys left Jabal's place, you guys got 3 coin purses of 200 gold and unlimited room in the Thundering Lizard.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's good. Yeah, so interesting. I will need to discuss with my friends here. But you sure? Get back to you in a second. Drifts over to Waxy and Shadow. So, thoughts?
Besides the whip thing, what does she actually do? Did she fight with someone?
That's a fair question.
It doesn't exactly say on the resume. I just got the in shit part. So.
I assume she is a spellcaster of some sort.
Shadow's like, ah, yes, I am familiar with the ad.
So it's like, well, she doesn't seem like me, that's for sure. But who knows?
I mean, if she claims she's willing to go out into the jungle, then I assume she can handle herself.
True. Waxy.
Well, I am loath to go out there again. We must, and I am even more hesitant to do it alone. So, if
Fair
she's
enough.
willing to join us, I will have her.
Excellent. Turns back. So,
Before you go, though, Yuna,
Yep.
I'm much more concerned about our guy.
this is true. This is true. Well, you two are guides, but I see what you mean. I think I can wrangle something.
I figured you might be able to assist with that.
Actually, wait. Shadow, were you there for that?
No, probably not.
Jabal gave both you and Waxy certificates of.
So yes,
guide.
I was there for that, but
Okay.
I wanted to have somebody specific. Like we can go out and in, but having a were tiger on your side also helps.
That's
that.
that's always a very good and strong point.
Yuna's gonna drift back to Killinay. So, how would you like to be part of our merry band?
Well, I suppose if the adventures are good and you promise not to get me killed almost immediately, at least 2 or 3 episodes before I die.
By the way, I so wish Shadow was in a better mood for this because this was hysterical. I would totally be like, dude, you gotta negotiate. Go in low. You gotta be like, you might be able to pitch in.
Might be able to get you to a 5th episode.
We can get you some We can get you a few cameos. Can't promise that.
You gotta keep that rotating cast going.
I think we are all in agreement there. Welcome. Killinay.
Welcome, Killinay.
It is good to be a part of another group.
It is. Now, we do have an issue with the guide, and she turns very specifically to Azaka because she's there, just like, we would have the issue of a guide still.
And she looks she looks around as if you aren't talking to her, and she's like,
she's over there like looking, staring at you, like fanning herself with her axe blade. Yeah.
Just like,
"What do you need a guide for? Didn't you just return?"
well, that one's a sad story and one I am not bound to repeat. So, but our previous guide suffered a pretty terrible fate. I will say that and nothing more. So we are currently guideless, and I am not from here. And while my partners here are, like, motions to Shadow and Waxy, they are not exactly jungle experts. Not navigation-wise, at least.
I mean, you aren't wrong. I know these two. I've seen them around, come and go.
Hmm.
You could use somebody like me. And she's kind of like boasting a little bit here. She's like, you could use somebody like me.
I'm sure we could.
I wouldn't say somebody like you needs me, but it'd be beneficial to have me on your side. And she's like fumbling over her words because she's trying to be big and also flirtatious and also trying to get this job. And
You need her. Say it very sensually.
Yeah. Now you say we don't need you, but oh, we do.
I need you.
I need you.
she like freezes for a moment and like takes a step
Does
back
the
and she's
anime
like,
deflate with the nosebleed?
I shoot a glance over at Shadow, like, yep.
I can just see like Killinay behind Ina, by the way, like whispering in her ear, like, I need you.
Be very funny, especially because Yuna is more charismatic. She's just like, I got this. I know what I'm saying.
See, the worst part is she like stops and she was like, well, how would I ever turn down such a pretty face? And she like winks at you with like a growl.
Oh, I knew it. Well,
And
it seems
maybe if we survive the journey back, and it will be treacherous, I can find you in my arms again.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
What is your facial expression during that?
Just mischievous smile.
Okay.
Just
You're
don't
killing us,
die in her
Echo.
arms tonight because it might be some kind of kiss. Should have walked away. Should have walked away.
It's not the song I was expecting, but I'll take it.
I hate you.
Hey, I'm just saying, there's been a lot of that lately.
It's true. It's true. Well, Ika didn't die in
Anywho.
anybody's arms.
Well, she said, she's like, well, I'm going to need at least a few days to prepare. You shouldn't be in a rush to get back out there anyway.
Oh, no rush.
Not at all. That is for sure.
So let us enjoy. Apparently our new friend here, I'm sorry, I never caught your name.
Keelan, Ember Shadow.
Apparently, Miss Ember Shadow here has another performance to put on. Let's enjoy the night. Have some drink. Good company. And she, like, pushes Shadow over in his chair.
I should perform as well, now that come to think of it.
Yeah. Perform.
I'm so drunk at this point. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's better done here. I'm just gonna.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Shadow's a sad
I'm just
drinker.
gonna go lay here.
How long does enlarge reduce last for?
A minute.
Or
Okay, cool.
concentration.
Doesn't
You
like
can stop it
super
as
long.
you please.
Okay,
anyway.
cool. Then yeah, because otherwise, might be a little problematic for actual form. But there we go. She stops levitating because can't do that forever. Yeah,
And
she's
she-
gonna.
I mean,
Can't
can't.
you?
I can only do it for an hour.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna do it for my performance. Well, actually, no. We should actually do a guitar recital with levitation. I can't dance levitation because that requires surfaces to go off of. And the type of dancing she does requires being on the ground. So, yeah. Unless she's just gonna start air dancing. New form of entertainment. Pop and lock. Yeah. Lots of pop and locking in midair.
Pop and locks.
So yeah, she's gonna do that at some point in the interim.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? You just do the Christopher Walken weapons of choice dance in the air.
Yes. Yes, do that. Just recreate that music video, but in a fantasy tavern. I like it. So yeah, sounds like we drink and perform the night away, though.
From the night away.
Cool.
Well,
And that is how the evening goes. The performance, I would say net's like the equivalent of like 7 gold, I guess.
All right. That's all Keelan and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all your money.
19 gold. I kick you 5.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
5 of the 7. Damn, that's generous.
Oh, I thought you said 17. I
No,
said 3.
three's okay. That's fair too.
I also heard 17, but that's fine.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going crazy. That's fine. It's a town. They're not going to be showering us in gold.
See, if we prefer the merchant princes, they would be.
That's true.
We're in the wrong pub.
Right? I mean, you have free board here. It doesn't mean you can't go to another one. But, anywho, you have a couple days in the city. Anything you want to do? Any explorations to be had? gambling to be done?
I don't know. Dinosaur races?
Yeah,
I need
dinosaur
to pull
races?
I need to pull up that SRD article again. Let me do that.
What about dinosaur races?
Yes. There is some crazy arithmetic that must be done.
I think Yuna's only real thing to do is figure out what Kilane actually does, and then give her some tips on how to perform.
Mm.
So,
Telling you, at some point, there will be some Grand Theft Dino.
yeah. How much money do we even have? I personally don't have very much money, but the group has a fair bit.
If you guys hang out with Azaka for a little bit, she'll tell you about a few jobs that are like kind of in existence right now. She tells you about two.
Get more rumors as well.
The first one she says is there's a priest that needs to be escorted to Camp Vengeance, and she kind of like spits on the ground, and she's like, "Those flaming fist douchebags." It's money, money's money though. And then
Sounds like a side quest we don't need to do.
a woman that, that I don't know. She says she's this guy Artis's daughter. She's looking for her dad. I don't know.
I'm interested in this one,
I don't know who this person is.
but it's
But-
a damsel in distress. I am interested.
All right, we'll go with it then.
So yes, it's something that we ultimately. It's just that they're in the jungle. Just keep an eye out for a guy named Artis. There's nothing more to it.
A guy named Artist, like an artist, or like
Yes, but the I is a U instead, and there's no T at the end.
That's weird.
Azaka's very awkward in explaining that. She
Huh.
continues to say it as artist.
The artist formerly known as Artist. Is that what
Exactly.
we're going with?
Seems
So-
legit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to find an artist in the jungle. No.
Oh.
Azaka laughs and she's like, "You were out there. You know how big it is."
It's true. Finding one person is going to be difficult, but we're not taking that other job. That sounds terrible. I don't even know who this flaming. I mean, she probably has heard of the flaming
I
fist.
would
being
guess
from-
that you have heard of the Flaming
Yeah,
Fist.
it's just like the flaming fists are a bunch of bastards. I would prefer not to deal with them.
Well, money is money, and I mean, it's just something we can do while you're on your mission. I've agreed to help. I expect that I'll be able to keep part of the share if we find anything worthwhile out there. Really, I just want to make sure you return safe. And she says it with her softest possible voice.
My keen elven ears heard everything.
She's not being ashamed, although she's probably going to like go back to her room and like write in her diary and like kick herself over misspoken words. Ugh,
Hmm.
whatever. Anywho.
Good. Yeah.
I'm going to
can
write
we
like
go-
a novella of the romantic interests of Azaka. Oh god, I forget her last name. Oh, wow.
Stormfang.
Stormfang. There we go. Azaka Stormfang.
Can we actually look for rumors as well? Is that something we can do?
Yes, let me pull up the rumors page if I
I
can.
wanna hear about rumors.
Rumors.
Rammers.
Rumors. There's a magic item salesman in the city currently. That's one of
Oh.
the rumors you hear.
Oh.
Saint, that's so good.
Right?
So
Ooh.
good.
It's a very good gift for this.
Yep.
Wait, I must.
Yeah,
must see.
I would be interested though. I don't know if we have enough. We have
Yes,
nearly enough
perfect.
money for.
Yes.
I don't know if we have nearly enough money for magic items. We can go look. It's not like they're gonna be
So-
like, you can't look at it unless you buy it.
I
Or
mean,
whatever.
Ultimately, what they
they're actually
have
paying for it.
is +1 bolts, +1 arrows, and +1 bullets for 50 gold piece apiece. A +1 wooden shield for 450 gold pieces, and a +1 dagger or +1 yikawa for 500 gold pieces.
Like a what? I mean, unless Shadow, you want a +1 sword, +1 yikawa, or +1 dagger. I don't think we need to.
I mean, all those are good, but they're also
Yeah.
expensive. So...
Yeah, that's what I
You
was
know who
saying.
could have used a +1 Yikawa?
Yeah, I
You know what?
Sure do.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Mm.
They're still dead.
Yikawa!
They're still stone though. It's fine.
All right,
It
so
technically
also
was +1.
also
Oh.
common potions are 80 gold pieces, uncommon potions are 300 gold pieces. A spell scroll of first level is 100 gold pieces, and a spell scroll of second level is 550 gold pieces.
If I remember how spell scrolls work, they have to be spells that are on your spell list.
Yes.
That's dumb. I thought it just needed to be spells that your class can
No,
cast.
a wizard would not be able to cast revive off a scroll.
Yeah, but a wizard can't cast revive. It's like something. Oh,
Well,
so.
that's why I said
That's
spell
what made me
list.
stop your
I meant-
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
You misunderstood what I said. Yeah, spell
Yes.
list is the class list, exactly.
Yes.
Oh.
See, I mean, I haven't announced this earlier, but I would be okay with being like Bard and Sorcerer are one, and Druid and Cleric are one, and then Wizards on their own because they're the only intelligence caster. It would be like based off of like what attribute you use.
Artificer is an intelligence caster.
I haven't even reviewed like how Artificer works.
Question for everybody in the party, since this is going to be important. Is everybody good on healing potions?
How many healing potions
Technically
do
don't.
I have?
I have 2 currently.
I'm
so-
gonna buy a healing potion. I'm gonna buy 2 healing potions.
Potion seller.
Potions, and
Some of your
So
finest
they're
potions.
they're 80 gold pieces a piece for the what is it,
I know.
1d4 plus 4?
Yeah.
2d4 plus 4.
Well,
Yeah.
I used one, so I'm actually gonna need another one.
I'm going to try and convince him to lower that price by batting my eyelashes.
Okay, give me a DC 16 persuasion.
It would really be nice if I could get those for much less. Nope. Okay.
It would be nice, but you can't.
And he's like, "You're lucky. We're running a special. There's 79 gold pieces."
So while she is batting her eyelashes, I'm going to get mine for free.
Oh my.
Take a
Like-
discount.
Like,
So
oh,
you can
79
swap one
is-
of the what is it, minor or what is the 2d4 plus 4 one?
That's the common
That's just
common.
the regular
potion of healing.
Oh, then what is the next one up?
Raider.
Potion of greater healing.
Which is 3 or what?
No,
300.
They go up by.
No, I'm
they-
asking about the dice, not the
Oh.
They
cost.
just increase in 2d4 increments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So it's
you,
4d4
because you
plus
got a
4.
26, you managed to snatch one of those. So you have a greater healing potion.
I pay for one of his overpriced potions.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
'cause
pay
currently-
79, not 80.
Currently, a total of like 870 gold altogether, I think.
I mean, you do, but I'm coming in off my funds. And
You know what?
Mm.
You're right, but
you're
still.
not- it's like you're not really gonna be like, "Hey, new person, here, have this cut of this money we earned before you."
I mean, we are interested in your survival.
That's fair.
Mhm, mhm.
I mean, you could definitely buy a potion and be like, "Here, we got this.
We got this for you.
This is for the group."
Look, all our other companions died. Don't die. Take this.
Don't die. It's dangerous to go alone out there. Take this.
Wow,
Such a
never
creepy
seen
old man.
Potion quite that shape or size.
Ah. I blame that on what's his name?
Starbomb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Starbomb.
That was the reference. Yes.
Yes.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Nope, I'm gonna blame it on Starbomb. All right, hold on. Oh
I
god,
also
it's
would
so
blame that
cute.
on Starbomb.
I love that
I know
gif.
exactly what you're talking about.
I'm still having trouble finding the rumors page. Where the fuck did it go?
Where is it?
Where did you put my rumors page?
Where did you put my rumors page?
God
Where is
damn it!
God damn it. Yeah.
You would think.
Damn you, He-Man!
Damn you, He-Man. Yeah. Skeletor. Skeletor is sometimes I'm Skeletor, and sometimes I'm He-Man. Sometimes I'm none of those things. Who knows?
Wow, that was very inspirational.
Yeah, very inspirational.
That's deep.
I'm just talking right now. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
You know, I'm having a lot of trouble finding.
For this.
Oh, you get a rumor that apparently you can bring people back the dead still, or back from the dead still. You just gotta find you just gotta find this lady in the jungle. She's kind of a recluse. Her name is. Give me a second, dang it.
Oh, it's the best name. I can't
It's the
wait for
best
mine.
name.
You know who would have really
I
been
just want to
helpful
make
get
sure
this
it's the right best name.
Oh, it is. It's the one you think it is.
Okay, Nanny Poo Poo.
Yep.
Yes,
You know,
there.
you know who else would have been good at helping us find this reclusive woman? Oh well. Oh well.
Who's now in a million pieces? Is
Yeah.
that person? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fine.
probably.
We put her back together. We're gonna find some super glue. Be all good.
Ugh.
Just
All right,
like
so
a-
I'm giving up on finding rumors. There's a bunch of crazy shit going on.
Sounds about right.
Is there anything particular? Oh, hold on. Wait a
Did you find it?
minute.
Did you find it?
Yes, I did. Okay. You each get to roll 1d100.
Okay.
Okadoke.
Okie dokie.
Don't at me. I had the fucking things to do tab.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
check-
minimized.
Oh, that's. I was like 2d10.
The 99.
Yeah, that 99.
Yeah, that's a
though.
99.
That's 99 though.
Look-
Okay,
look
so
I got an 18. It's just exactly the same as a 9 and a 9.
I need. I'm probably going to need you to repeat your name like 7 more times before I remember it. What's your name, Friendus? Kowine? Was that Kroos?
I think
You're muted.
I muted or Rindus?
No,
Rindus.
Rindus.
Am I? I'm
You
not muted.
were.
You're not
you were
muted
talking,
anymore.
you
You
couldn't
were.
hear anything.
I have it not muted. I'm
Weird.
Weird. Yeah, you looked like you were talking and no sound was coming out.
What's your name?
Keelane.
Keelane.
Lene.
You learn that the great god Ubtao loves mazes. If you happen upon a maze of
You know
any
who else could
kind,
have told us
trace a
that?
path through it. You will earn Ubtab's favor.
She's going to go up to Waxy and Shadow specifically and be like, apparently somebody named Ubtao really loves mazes. Did you guys know that? Did anyone in particular
Starts crying for
share
just no
information about
reason.
mazes? And
Edith's just like
The rest of the party just breaks down in tears. I remember somebody who liked Ubtao.
guys, have you tried these mushrooms? They're fantastic.
get out.
Go home. You're
Go
breaking the
home.
party's
How
heart.
dare.
How dare you speak her name?
You know, I got these mushrooms. They're called truffle.
Like,
So on an
Wanna try some
18
truffle?
Waxy, you got one must purchase a charter of exploration at Fort Bellerin before undertaking any. Oh no, you roll again. You know all this. We've
Who
already
is
gotten
that?
this.
Who was this?
Waxy can roll again.
Oh,
Oh, thank you. That's what we were trying to figure out.
we
was
do
who
not
the-
need. We do not need to go to Fort Bell End.
There we go. 56.
56. Also, I've been super out of order. Shadow and I'll get back to you. 56 for a Waxy. Doop, 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 doop.
Vaxy.
There are giant snapping turtles in Snapping Turtle Bay.
oh, no shit, really?
One of them is as
Huh.
big as a horse. Or a house, I'm sorry.
I
Oh,
never could've
He's
guessed
known as
there
King Toba,
happened
and
to
his
them.
shell has gemstones embedded in it. For all you murder hobos out there.
Sounds like we need to
I was
murder.
about to say us.
Sounds like we should go make some turtle soup.
I am not turning into a warthog, damn it.
But here's the thing: they're snapping turtles, so they'll probably just snap us in half.
Yeah, that's a risk we're gonna need to take.
Yeah.
So, Yina, you learned that long ago, a peaceful tribe of fisher folk called the Eldani angered Ubtao by catching and eating all the lobsters in the river. This goes back to our lobster mac and cheese.
How did this happen?
This is the one.
As
This is the
punishment
quest,
for their
boys.
greed, they were all transformed into monsters that dwell in the Eldani Basin. This sounds like a macaroni and cheese mission.
So this is her going back to the group, just like, so apparently there's this people who are cursed by Ubtao for catching all the lobsters.
Nothing else matters. We must eat them.
I mean, if you say so. They're apparently in the Aldani Basin?
Well, I have no idea where that is, but
I don't either. This is why I'm telling all of you.
So we apparently just need to kill all the marine life. Got it.
Apparently. That seems vaguely accurate according to if you speak to my water genasi friends.
So Shadow, you learned something fairly interesting as well.
Do I have to kill some fish?
I mean,
Kill the
maybe?
marine life.
Collect some clams.
Cholt was once a playground for a green dragon. Her bones mark the location of a hidden treasure trove. If you travel to Mesro and head east across the Laughing Gorge, then south towards Kir Sabal, you might stumble on the dragon bones and earn yourself a place in the history books.
Sounds fun. Let's do it.
This Mesro place sounds really awesome. We should probably go there.
God,
There's nothing cool about Mesro, and it's definitely not the destination of the entire campaign at all.
Shadow, would you call going and trying to find that
I mean,
treasure
it's-
archaeology?
Oh, yeah.
Outro. It's
Definitely my kind of archaeology.
outro. It's not. We want to go to Omu.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
we haven't gotten anywhere close to our destination. We so far from there.
So yeah, I will relay that, and I say after we go and speak to the Aracopra, maybe we should investigate this because it seems promising.
All right.
If they can't give us any direction straight to solve the problem, then I suggest we head in that direction.
Well, that sounds like our best bet.
That means we almost have a plan.
We're in the formation of a plan. I know somebody who loves when a plan comes together, but that's not me.
No?
I don't always make plans, but when I do, I prefer having one.
I definitely feel like I'm the Hannibal.
So Azaka stops and she asks, so as of right now, the one thing that seems of interest is the dragon bones and the artist guy.
Yes.
And also, you guys have to do something. You have to find a thing or do a stuff. Something to do with this death
we
curse.
have- Yes, we're trying to find the
Yeah,
source
that-
of the death curse and destroy it.
The thing about people dying, I guess it's important. We should probably get on that.
If we can find
So-
something to fix Firefinger while we're out there, that would be good.
What's wrong with
Nah,
Firefinger?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
How much? Hey, Kilene, how
Mhm.
much do you know about alchemy?
Well, it just so happens I know very little.
Just so happens I know absolutely.
Well, that's very unfortunate because that could have helped us fix Firefinger. But
Sorry, I'm not that kind of magician.
mm,
Maybe if I had gone into the artificing sort of styles, but the gods said that wasn't in the cards.
do you believe in the heart of the cards?
Always. It gets me exactly what I need to draw at every possible moment. even the ones that are tournament banned.
Perfect. Perfect.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So Azaka says, so how about we go out there and we handle one of these, I don't know, rumors? And since it seems like you guys have no idea exactly how to handle this Death Cross thing, we just look while we're doing other shit.
That seems like
Pretty much.
It sounds like we're heading for Kirsabal, regardless of what we do.
I fucking hate the birds.
What's so bad about the birds?
I mean, nothing. The birds are lovely. Their plumes are elegant, and
It sounds like you're hiding something.
I don't know.
Something
no-
deep down. This
I just-
ingrained
I ju-
dislike of Aarakocra.
I just
What they're called,
prefer to stay close to the ground.
right? See, that's fair. I don't mind, as someone who has flown. Be a
Like,
fun time.
It's neat.
I will
Oh.
show you the world.
Don't know about having wings, but that's a different discussion. Anyway, we should get the supplies we need, and then head out tomorrow.
yes, I agree.
Excellent. Well, let's do it. Break.
Well, I'm as ready as I'll be. So I'm going to go and have myself a last few drinks.
Gonna have myself a good cry.
As long as you're
Hope
not
you'll-
hungover in the morning, we'll all be fine.
Hungover. Get out of here with that. And she like playfully pushes your shoulder, which may be a little too rough. I don't know. What's
I
your
don't know.
strength?
10, I think? 10.
Okay, so it's like a little rough, but it's like it's still playful.
Yeah, she's also, how tall is Azaka? How tall is Azaka again?
Let's find out.
I only say that because Yuna is 4'11". So.
I keep forgetting how short she is.
Yeah, Yuna's
Oh,
tiny.
so-
She is very small. That's why it's funny when you cast Reduce on her. It's like, oh, she's even smaller than she was previously. She's getting that. She's small. Cause it's mostly that
I just shared a picture of her.
yes.
She's like 6 feet tall.
Oh, okay. Because it's mostly that the Tabaxi in the group are very tall because they're Tabaxi. Tabaxi are very tall.
Yeah, but they also have like a slouch to them, so they like kind of even out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, Kilane, what season are you right now?
Well, currently, you wouldn't know because nobody knows about her current mood changes.
Yeah, we will soon enough, I imagine.
But I guess the real question then is just what color are your eyes so that we may notice that they're a different color later?
Hold on, I have to recheck my references.
Yeah, because the
They are.
audience needs to know your character descriptions. They need to
Yeah.
know.
They are the color autumn that represents the season of orange. That's an inside joke. No, they're actually yellow right now.
Mm.
I don't know if Outro pulled them into the Roll20, but I made all the different eye colors. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to roll that every morning.
Look, Shepard. Look at your
Yay.
special eyes.
What do you see, Shepard?
I need brand contacts. I don't have my brand. Okay, so do we need to get anything else, or can we head out?
We
I
can
think
head
we're
out.
ready to head out at this point, honestly.
So we have
Okay.
about 10 minutes left in the episode. I wouldn't really want to
Oh,
make too much
Oh
of.
dang! Already?
oh wow.
Yeah, we kind of had a lot of like downtime, but I'm very excited for the beginnings of our third expedition into the jungles
Third
of
time's a
Trolls.
charm, boys. We got this.
This was actually episode 11 and a half. Like,
Yeah, kind of.
yeah.
11 3/4.
Yeah. 11 and a bit.
I will say that you guys made it halfway through the jungle to where the final destination is.
It's not really halfway.
I mean, it's the campaign's supposed to bring it at 15, so
15.
yeah.
That's right. It's a long way.
That's a bit away. That's
Yeah.
a little time from now.
Yes, but you spend a lot of time in the destination, so. Anywho, I don't really feel that it would be super productive to start the journey. We could leave the city gates and head into the jungle and do some roleplay, but like actually doing like an encounter or an event of any type would be kind of silly. So
Yeah. Where are we?
Sure.
Like, are we going down the Tariki River again, or are we gonna go like around, like take a boat around and go to this other river?
Actually, so are you guys heading towards Kirsabal?
I mean, I think so.
I believe so. That's really our best direction so far.
Yeah, so Azaka will be like, I've spent my whole life in this jungle. I know it from top to bottom. If you're trying to get to Kirsabal, we cross the Tariki River, cut past Mesro, and just follow up. I forget the name of that river. River Oolong. I'll get us there. And she's like, I can't. I'm not going to give you play-by-play directions.
I
I'll
mean,
just
you'll
get
give
you
us the
there.
play-by-play while we're going, right?
Yes, I can get you there. It's not a problem.
Good.
That's all that's really important.
You are the guide, after all.
That I am. That I am.
Oh, well, let's go. We've got an artist to find, and some birds to talk to, bird people to talk to, and a treasure hoard to find? I guess dragon bones first, then the treasure hoard. Because maybe they'll be like, I don't know,
Seems
goblins
like there
or
will be a lot of history there.
that too.
Goblins.
Or kobolds even, I don't know, something like that.
Kobolds. There are some here, but they shouldn't be a problem. It's the dinosaurs we gotta watch out for. You already know this. You've been out here.
Have you guys heard of that zombie T-Rex? That thing is weird.
I think
Let's-
it's terrifying.
It's very terrifying. What happens now? What happens if there are kobolds riding dinosaurs?
I would pay good money to see this.
I mean, I think that's the dinosaur races, right?
Do they have a Patreon?
No.
If
we
not,
can
we
make
will
it.
start the one.
I'll make my Patreon into a kobolds riding dinosaurs Patreon.
Seems legit. Seems legit.
Go check it out at patreon.com/kobolds riding dinosaurs.
Anyway, so you guys exit out of the old city gate and walk into the rising sun, or away from, or I don't know how the star around the Forgotten Realms rotates, but you walk towards, and the episode draws to a close, and I flip it back to the video call. Haha, there we are.
Yay.
Guys, I had fun, even though there was a good amount of downtime. I had fun.
It was good to come back.
Yeah.
We were talking about how we were going to eventually, unintentionally or otherwise, evolve into a talk show, Reese, while you were gone.
But we're still a D&D game.
Yes, we're still
So.
a D&D game.
I mean, D&D games are kind of like talk shows, just in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
I'm
They're
just
talking.
saying.
It's true. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys want to give your exiting, parting bits?
Shoutouts are
Yeah.
good.
Shoutouts are good.
Let's do a shouts.
Syncard, it was your idea. You can do it.
All right, cool. Hi, everyone. My name is St. Guard. I'm a variety streamer and sometimes GM of tabletop role-playing games. You can find me on my channel playing something, strategy games, role-playing games, something else entirely. I will be back on Saturday with some more Wargroove, our strategy strategy game that's like basically Advanced Wars, but a newer version made by the people who made Starbound. We're in Desert
Ah.
Japan right now.
Neat.
I will give no more context than that. Yeah,
What's this game called?
War Groove.
War
It actually looks pretty cute, and
Yeah, it's very cute.
I enjoyed both Starbound and Armored Core, so
Yeah. So
Good combination, yeah.
Advanced
Wars,
yeah.
whatever it was you said.
Yeah,
I also Armored Core.
all of the above.
Too many games.
It's very good. You do. Since I'm streaming, I found out that you do need to do there are options for like speeding up the combat and stuff, and those are very useful because otherwise battles will end up taking like hours.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so that is where I went wrong, because I have it on my Switch, and I played it, and I was like, this is cool and all, but holy crap, is it slow.
You have to turn on the like combinate. You have to turn on so that movement is faster, and so like either combat only plays on your turn or it's only commanders. You just turn it off the like combat scenes because otherwise it's just units hitting each other.
Gotcha.
Because it's a really cool game. I like it. Yeah,
Nice.
We'll be back with that. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Sengardly. That's my username with an LI at the end. There we go. That's
Cool.
my plug.
Jabari, Rindis.
Not Jabari anymore. He dead.
He did.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Horrendous of Party Life Games. You can normally catch us Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, playing various tabletop RPGs. We will be starting a new Vampire the Masquerade where I'm playing a Lasombra, and also the oldest vampire of the coterie. She is a person who was born in the 1920s, got turned in the 1950s, and I made the executive decision that I need to be the adult of the group when they're all like, we've been turned within the last like 3 years and we're fresh out of college, and it's like, I'm gonna be the old person. It's like I'm gonna be old and crotchety, and I am going to be the string puller. That's gonna be fun. You can catch us tomorrow. We'll probably be playing a one-shot while Shay figures out what she wants to do permanently for Fridays, because we're hanging up our Star Wars game because time conflicts were getting in the way of everything. We might be doing a Pokemon game. I think that's the current runner right now.
Nice.
I've heard good things about Pokemon Tabletop Union. So.
Yeah, and that's the one she's been looking at. And I already have a Pokemon OC drawn, so I'm perfectly fine with that.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's me. You can catch us Party Wipe Games here and on Twitter. Yeah.
Cool. Kelsa.
Hey everybody, I'm Kelsa. You can find me on Twitter at Kelsa, Twitch, and YouTube. It's Kelsa Delphi. I play role-playing games on the internet. When I'm not here, I'm also on my own channel playing Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands, Love and Banter Phil's Skyquest Dive. That game is hecka fun. I've also been doing Art Fight for the month of July. That's part of what I've been doing in the background here is drawing. I've been doing a lot of drawing lately, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And yeah, that's pretty much my deal lately. Play role-playing games and also draw. Yeah, but don't stream drawing because why would you do that?
Yeah, that's rough.
Why would you do that?
And Reese.
Hi everybody, I am Reese Dragon. You can mainly find me here, but if I ever have time, which I never do, you can find me at twitch.tv/Reese Dragon for some insanity. And yeah, that's about it. Follow me on the Twitters and the Facebooks at Reese Dragon.
Cool. And I'm Outro. This is my channel. Hi. Bye. I'm also really sleepy. It kind of like hit me in the last like 10 minutes of our game. I was just like, ooh, I'm tired. But yeah, I haven't been streaming a ton lately, and our games have kind of like been pushed back. This is the first time we've streamed in a month, but we'll be resuming our weekly events going forward, and I plan on picking up Fire Emblem and streaming that when it drops next Friday. So I'll be more consistent with like variety streaming when that drops. So I'll be playing that for you guys starting next Friday. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great night, day, whatever your time zone may be, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.
Bye, everybody.